Xiao Jun's luck that he met Chen Pingyan. As she was the reason he was lucky, it is unfortunate that she will suffer from lovesickness. The immortal inquired if Xiao Jun was the one who made the upper rank elixir pill before. Brother Wen inquired as to how he knew. The immortal responded that he believed fate began with Xiao Jun and assumed she was the genius of Zhang sect. Meanwhile, Chen Pingyan asked the system to show him his rewards. The system stated that for completing the mission at a fast pace, the host will be rewarded with a breakthrough of 1.5 realms. Chen Pingyan was now in the Fenchen first stage. The system informed Chen Pingyan that the host can obtain an item from defeating an enemy. The stronger the foe, the stronger the item. After defeating the enemy, he can choose to use points to increase the quality of the item. He then mumbled that he was unlucky as he had used all the points to buy the sniper rifle, which he would not be able to try. After some time, an old man sought out Chen Pingyan and informed him that the town had learned of his upcoming marriage and that he had prepared a tonic for him to use. He then thought that it might be Xiao Linger's doing, as he didn't know that he was getting married. He then told the old man that it must be Xiao Linger talking nonsense once more, and that he'll go find her once he's free. The man cried and thought that Chen Pingyan was energetic, and that his tonic would be definitely useful. Chen Pingyan was upset and asked for Xiao Linger, wondering what rumor she had spread yet again. Zhang Yuxin then asked Chen Pingyan if Xiao Linger had done something bad once again. Chen Pingyan, blushing, asked Zhang Yuxin why she hadn't discussed it with him and wondered if it was too soon to marry. Zhang Yuxin asked Chen Pingyan about the times they had slept together. She then flirtatiously teased Chen Pingyan, telling him that he didn't want his reputation to be tainted by acknowledging her. Chen Pingyan responded that he was a bit slow and that he would listen to what she wanted. Zhang Yuxin smirked and asked Chen Pingyan to try on the wedding attire to see if it would fit him. Chen Pingyan nervously agreed. After some time, Zhang Yuxin called Chen Pingyan darling and told him that before they got married, they would have to do something first. Chen Pingyan, who was flattered, retorted that they hadn't married yet and expressed concern that if a new life was to be born, it would be inappropriate. Zhang Yuxin blushed and asked Chen Pingyan what he was thinking, and clarified that she was referring to a kiss between lovers. Chen Pingyan, disappointed, mumbled that that was what she had meant. She then unexpectedly kissed Chen Pingyan, claiming that it was time to release some seals. Zhang Yuxin inquired as to what had happened, to which Chen Pingyan replied that he had suddenly felt some pain. He then felt confused. After some time, Chen Pingyan emitted ki from his hand and mumbled that he couldn't touch it even with spiritual energy. He was perplexed, believing that he had done something incorrectly and that the system had failed to notify him of having bodily problems. He then thought that he had heard some immortals could use their spiritual thoughts to guide heaven and earth's powers to strengthen their attacks. He then tested it, and as expected, he wondered if it was the power of heaven and earth and how it could strengthen attacks. Chen Pingyan attempted to release the Buddhist palm, muttering that it was strong. Zhang Yuxin smiled while watching Chen Pingyan, claiming that he was silly. Chen Pingyan mumbled excitedly that he had received such power after suffering from a headache, and that he should suffer even more. Zhang Yuxin stated that it was a Taoist pattern and not the power from the heavens. She believed that it was the perfect time to give him a new mission. Chen Pingyan was notified that a new mission had arrived, and he wondered what the reward would be this time. He was surprised when the system stated that the process of entering guarded gates had begun, and that the location was in the immortal realm, and that more information would be provided once the host arrived at the location. Meanwhile, at the forest outskirts of King Yuan Town, Chen Pingyan realized that, despite the strength of the people in the immortal realm, he had the black dragon on his side. He believed he was safe because he had the ring and the golden sword. The system then transported Chen Pingyan to the Zhao family mansion in the immortal realm. Upon arrival, the system informed him that the corpse belonged to the owner of the room, Zhao Ziyan, a descendant of the Zhao family. When Zhao Ziyan was 10 years old, both of his parents died. As he was gifted from birth, he was destined to be the family's head. However, his cultivation dropped from the immortal Ying stage to the Fen Shen layer the day before he was set to become the head. During the few years when his cultivation had dropped, Zhao Ziyan was often bullied. As a result, he became depressed and decided to end his life by suffocating his heart. Chen Pingyan was perplexed and wondered how someone who had almost become the head had died in such a place. The system explained that Zhao Ziyan's final wishes were to reclaim the position of family head and gain the approval of others. Chen Pingyan opened his ring and threw the dead body inside, mumbling that reality isn't a comic and that when they return, he'll have to find a geomancy item to bury Zhao Ziyan. A person then yelled for Zhao Ziyan to come out, which surprised Chen Pingyan. He assumed that they were the people who bullied Zhao Ziyan. A group of people opened the door and were told to beat up Zhao Ziyan. Chen Pingyan asked them to wait and told them that if they were going to beat him up, they must have a reason. Zhao Mafan retorted that he had already warned Zhao Ziyan to avoid Zhao Lai but still dared to speak to her. He then informed him that she would soon be his wife and that he seemed to need a beating to remember, so he ordered his subordinates to attack. A woman appeared and called Zhao Mafan shameless. She then inquired about his wife and why he was looking for Zhao Ziyan to bother him. Zhao Mafan called Zhao Ziyan a jerk and said he'd deal with the woman, then ordered his men to pick up the trash. Chen Pingyan told Zhao Mafan that there was no need for them to fight because they were all civilized beings. He asked him if he should compensate him and explain that the lady had misunderstood. Zhao Mafan negotiated with Chen Pingyan, telling him that if he crawled under his crotch, he'd let him go to save him some embarrassment. The woman then told Chen Pingyan that he couldn't. Chen Pingyan then reasoned that since Zhao Mafan is of the same generation as Zhao Ziyan, and the Black Dragon isn't afraid of Mo Chufei, who is at the immortal spiritual stage, there was no reason to be concerned about Zhao Mafan. He told Zhao Mafan that he would answer him on one condition, that he would never disturb him, and in exchange, he'd give him a treasure. Chen Pingyan believed that if Zhao Mafan underestimated him, he would increase the strength of the Buddhist palm. Zhao Mafan was curious as to what kind of treasure a trash like him possessed. Chen Pingyan took something out and told him that the treasure was the reason he became a genius. He asked the excited Zhao Mafan to come closer and show him the treasure. When Zhao Mafan saw that Chen Pingyan had nothing in his hand, he cursed him. Chen Pingyan then struck him with a blow, knocking Zhao Mafan to the ground. Chen Pingyan realized that his abilities appeared to be strong. The woman inquired if Chen Pingyan's powers had returned. Chen Pingyan thought that it was the perfect timing that she asked. He told her that, while it may not appear so, he had been indoors for years because he encountered a legendary immortal in his dreams, from whom he learned what supreme power is. The woman doubted his story. Chen Pingyan told her that he knew she didn't believe him and asked if she had ever seen such a special martial art before. He went on to say that he had been dreaming for far too long and that when he awoke, he realized he had forgotten about reality and even forgot the woman's name. The woman was surprised. Chen Pingyan asked the woman to tell him about himself and the Zhao family situation, saying that he might remember something. The woman happily agreed and told him that she would tell him every exact detail. Zhao Lei was unsure where to begin. Chen Pingyan asked her to first tell him about the recent major events. She then told him about the immortal emperor ascending to the god realm but not giving the position of the immortal emperor to the 10 great immortals under him. Instead, he gave it to someone unheard of named Yuan Donglai. Chen Pingyan asked her to tell him more. When a sudden sound began to ring, Zhao Lei informed Chen Pingyan that it was the clan's urgent gathering call. She then grabbed Chen Pingyan and told him that it must be something important and that they could talk about the immortal emperor later. After some time in the discussion hall, the crowd noticed Chen Pingyan and murmured that he actually dared to come out and that his cultivation had not progressed at all. A man greeted Chen Pingyan and informed him that he did not expect him to arrive that day. Chen Pingyan was perplexed as to what these people had to do with Zhao Ziyan. The crowd muttered that every time Zhao Lei looked for him, he never answered, and that they were wondering where Zhao Mayan was. Chen Pingyan then claimed that Zhao Ziyan had a difficult life, which is why he eventually killed himself. He anticipated that his mission would be difficult. Fuming, Zhao Lei told Chen Pingyan not to listen to their nonsense and to assume they were children. Chen Pingyan responded that he did not mind. He then inquired as to who those people were and whether she liked them. Zhao Lei answered that the man's name was Zhao Buzhu, the brother of Zhao Mafan and the strongest of the younger generation in the clan. She added that Zhao Buzhu was also a pretentious hypocrite and that, compared to Chen Pingyan, Zhao Buzhu was the worst. And that when Zhao Ziyan was 10, he stopped Zhao Mafan from bullying Zhao Lei, however, would condone his brother to do evil. Chen Pingyan then thought that Zhao Ziyan's powers suddenly falling were strange, despite the enormous benefits he obtained, and that they were unlikely to have any relations. The crowd then greeted the clan leader. The clan leader announced that all of them were the young talents of the Zhao clan, and he called them there for one thing. Half a month from that day, there would be a secret realm appearing, and all the clan's younger generation would go and explore. The most important thing, he added, is that the new immortal emperor would be present, and he told the crowd that he liked to take in geniuses and that this would be an opportunity for the Zhao clan to rise. The crowd mumbled that they had heard that the immortal emperor brought along a genius from the immortal world and trained him wholeheartedly. One side character also mentioned if he could only be seen by the immortal emperor. Zhao Baqian stopped the chatter and informed everyone to make a breakthrough within half a month. Zhao Mafan then called for the clan leader. He then told Zhao Buzhu and Zhao Baqian that they must uphold justice. Concerned, Zhao Buzhu asked Zhao Mafan who had attacked him. Zhao Mafan pointed at Chen Pingyan and told them that he was the one who beat them up. The crowd murmured if they had heard Zhao Mafan correctly that the three of them at the stage of Immortal Ying were beaten by someone at the Fen Shen lair. They then assumed that Zhao Ziyan's cultivation powers had returned. Zhao Buzhu inquired if Zhao Mafan was confused and asked how could Zhao Ziyan beat him like that. Zhao Mafan responded and told Zhao Buzhu that he was not lying and that Chen Pingyan said that he had a treasure, and told them to come closer and was sent flying by him. Zhao Buzhu still doubted his brother and told him that Chen Pingyan was still at the Fen Shen lair, and assumed that someone might have helped him. Zhao Mafan yelled and told Chen Pingyan not to act innocent. Chen Pingyan responded that he deserved it. Zhao Buzhu approached Chen Pingyan and stated that he did not know what caused him to beat Zhao Mafan to such an extent, but he then asked what Zhao Mafan did to deserve it, and if he did not provide a valid reason, he could not accept it. Chen Pingyan thought that Zhao Buzhu was so eager to trample him and that it didn't look like he was trying to stand up for Zhao Mafan. He answered Zhao Buzhu and told him that Zhao Mafan had bullied men and girls in the clan countless times. Chen Pingyan got the idea of provoking Zhao Buzhu to see his true colors. Zhao Bankia interrupted, stating that he didn't think Zhao Mafan's injuries were serious and asked him to go to the medicine room and take a pill. He then believed that Zhao Xian's strength had returned, as he had actually defeated 3 immortal Ying realm users. Chen Pingyan and Zhao Buzhu quickly agreed. Chen Pingyan then realized that the mission's duration was still far away, that he couldn't confront the clan leader, and that he would look for an opportunity the next time. Zhao Bankia told Zhao Buzhu to stay and that the others could leave. Zhao Buzhu believed that Zhao Xian's curse had expired because he wasn't afraid of facing him, and thought it was impossible, and there had to be another reason. After a while, Chen Pingyan was astounded and wondered if it was the treasure chamber Zhao Lei had mentioned and why it was so different from others. He then eagerly anticipated the discovery of a treasure item that would enhance his spiritual senses and allow him to exert even greater control over heaven and earth. However, Chen Pingyan was stopped and told that his dog was not allowed. The dog cried as Chen Pingyan tied him and mumbled that he hoped Chen Pingyan wouldn't forget about him once again. A man then muttered that it was odd how there was a dog in the immortal realm and wondered who had bought their dog from the lower realm. The dog was irritated because he thought the man didn't realize he was a dragon. The man approached the dog, amused, and mumbled that the dog had rolled its eyes, assuming that the owner had brought him to the immortal world because he was intelligent. He was bewildered when the dog spoke to him and told him that if he didn't want to die, he could leave. The man fell to the ground and shouted that the dog was a true dragon. He then thought that only an immortal emperor was able to tame a true dragon, and assumed that the immortal emperor must be inside the treasure chambers. Chen Pingyan asked the man if the dog had attacked him. The man asked Chen Pingyan back if the dog was his. Chen Pingyan responded that although the dog was a demonic beast, he was smart and didn't bite. The man believed that Chen Pingyan must be the mortal that the immortal emperor had recently bought from the mortal realm. Concerned, Chen Pingyan wondered why the man was still on the ground and assumed that he must be extorting him. He then let go of the thought and moved on, mumbling that while he had discovered items that could enhance his spiritual senses, they were all too expensive for him to purchase. Chen Pingyan then muttered that the people in the treasure chamber said that the fastest way to make money is by going to the battle pool. The man asked Chen Pingyan to wait and asked him his name. He then informed Chen Pingyan that he was on his way to the battle pool and asked if they could go together. Chen Pingyan introduced himself and thanked the man for guiding him, to which the man responded that it was alright. The man then reasoned that helping his family buy supplies wasn't as important as making connections with someone important to the immortal emperor. After a while, at the battle pool registration area, the man told Chen Pingyan that his family's main business was selling beasts, and in order to promote their sales, they specifically built a battle pool to invite people to bet. He went on to say that the monsters in the battle pool are generally powerful, so the challenger must sign a waiver before entering. He then wondered which monster Chen Pingyan would challenge. Since it was Chen Pingyan's first battle, he advised him to be cautious. Chen Pingyan thanked the man for the reminder and asked him to give him an easy 3 libras. The announcer then notified the crowd that the next person who would enter the arena was in the first stage of the Fen Shen realm, and would cross 3 realms to challenge the Sword Ridge Tiger at the Desheng stage. He then asked the crowd to cheer for his courage to die. The man wondered if Chen Pingyan could win because of the realm difference. The dog responded to cut his crap and told him that his master wouldn't lose. Puzzled, the man asked the dog if Chen Pingyan was his master. The announcer then informed the crowd that the demon beast, Sword Ridge Tiger, was very excited. The crowd chanted to tear Chen Pingyan apart. The man whispered to the dog that he might have been sent by the immortal emperor to protect Chen Pingyan and wondered how he could call Chen Pingyan master. The dog responded that the immortal emperor was not even worthy of feeding him. The man was taken aback by the dog's response and wondered if Chen Pingyan was not the genius who was brought up to the immortal realm and was addressed as master by a true dragon. He asked the dog if Chen Pingyan was stronger than the immortal emperor. The dog responded that the man had some brains. He then realized that the man appeared wealthy and that Chen Pingyan was now in need of funds and that he should find a way to share his concerns. Frowning, the man wondered who Chen Pingyan was as the dog told him that he was stronger than the immortal emperor. The dog informed the man that Chen Pingyan's true body was in the god realm and that he was now just bilocating temporarily, borrowing Zhao Xian's identity. He added that because the man was honest, he'd give him a chance, as Chen Pingyan was new to the immortal realm and was short of immortal crystals. Spirited, the man thanked the dog for reminding him and said he would definitely find a way to send more immortal crystals to Chen Pingyan. The dog praised the man and reminded him to be careful how he did things. The man couldn't believe that he had actually won. The audience complained that the demon beasts in the arena were garbage, and that he had lost the 2,000 immortal crystals he had won by betting on the Sword Ridge Tiger. The man then got an idea that one could bet on the arena pool before the battle started. He then excitedly told the dog that he had thought of an excellent way to make money and had a reason to take the initiative to send money to Chen Pingyan, to which the dog questioned. A broken cup fell down while a man angrily yelled that there was no ability in the world that could cross 3 realms and easily cut an enemy, and believed that Chen Pingyan might have hidden his strength. The stranger trembled and informed the man that their subordinates had seized and checked Chen Pingyan's storage ring and found no abnormalities before allowing him to enter the arena. He added that Chen Pingyan would continue to challenge the immortal realm's demon beast and asked the man if they should stop Chen Pingyan. Sun Chen asked him back if they should stop Chen Pingyan. He went on to say that if he was so greedy, they'd just choke him to death, and asked them to go arrange the fight. Sun Chen instructed his subordinates to allow the immortal infant golden scale lion with true dragon bloodline to take the stage. The man replied that the beast could kill an early stage immortal spirit realm cultivator, and that sending it to the arena would cause the audience to spread rumors that they operated in the dark. Sun Chen retorted that the rumors were irrelevant and that the beast would not die. He then asked the man how they could sell their demon beast in the future. He then added that Chen Pingyan's partner bet 100,000 immortal crystals, and as long as Chen Pingyan died, those things would be left at the battle arena. The announcer informed the crowd that the challenger at the Fen Shen lair had challenged the golden winged lion at the immortal Ying stage. One member of the audience muttered that the golden winged lion could kill cultivators at the immortal spiritual stage. Another random man added that Chen Pingyan was regarded as a problem by the battle pool. The announcer then informed the audience to expect a bloody performance. The man called out for the dog. The dog looked and then noticed the man. The man then informed him that he had wagered all his magical items and clothing and also wagered the 80,000 immortal crystals that were meant to buy materials for his family. The dog was distressed and wondered why he had to wager his clothes as well. The man went on to say that his clothes were worth 2,000 immortal crystals and that if there was a business involving money, he would rather be uncomfortable than lose money. Moments passed by, and the golden winged dragon appeared, which surprised the crowd. One person mumbled that it was going to be gruesome to think there was a beast with true dragon blood fighting a Fen Shen cultivator. Chen Pingyan's sword broke, and with a worried look, he then thought that the sword had no problem last time. He reasoned that it must have been the time when he returned that caused it to be that way, and that the beast appeared to be so powerful that he needed to summon the black dragon for assistance. The golden winged lion informed Chen Pingyan that it appeared that someone wanted him dead. He was then about to attack Chen Pingyan and told him not to resent him. The golden winged lion halted as he felt the pressure of a true dragon. The crowd was perplexed as to why the golden winged lion had come to a halt and inquired as to what was going on. The black dragon told the golden winged lion that if he didn't want to die, he could kneel. The golden winged lion bowed and told Chen Pingyan that he had admitted defeat and pleaded with him not to kill him. Dumbfounded, Chen Pingyan and the crowd were confused. The crowd then shouted that the golden winged lion was an actor while some wanted a refund. Enraged, one stranger wondered who was the one who bought the beasts for the battle pool. After a while, the announcer informed them that the battle pool's rules stated that there could only be one standing, and that if the golden winged lion did not kill Chen Pingyan, he would die. Chen Pingyan was concerned as the golden winged lion bit his tongue and rammed his head to the ground until he was knocked out. He then asked the dog if he did that. The dog smiled and mumbled that it was his duty to protect Chen Pingyan. Chen Pingyan reminded the dog to follow him in the next match, to which the dog agreed. One member of the audience said it did not appear to be a play, while another wondered who Chen Pingyan was and how he could force the golden winged lion to knock himself out rather than fight. One person went on to say that Chen Pingyan was definitely a big shot and was just hiding his strength. Chen Pingyan wondered if this meant he had won. The announcer then announced that the golden winged lion had lost. The man cheerfully mumbled that he won profits. When he realized that people were staring at him, he then told them he could explain. Later, at the exit of the arena, Sun Chen approached Chen Pingyan and asked him if he was proud of himself. He then thought that Sun Chen was the one who rigged his sword for the match. Sun Chen became upset and told Chen Pingyan that since he didn't want to behave and die by the beast, he should prepare to die in his hands. He then attacked Chen Pingyan. Chen Pingyan summoned the black dragon and the phoenix and charged at Sun Chen, knocking him against the wall. Sun Chen inquired as to who Chen Pingyan was and how he came to possess a true dragon. Phoenix was the one who responded, telling him who he thought he was and that he was not worthy of questioning Chen Pingyan's identity. To everyone's surprise, he mumbled that his bodyguard was a dragon and a phoenix. Sun Chen then said that he was only the tip of the mountain, but behind him was the great immortal, and if he left now, he'd pretend it never happened. Sun Chen thought that he would report Chen Pingyan to the great immortal. Bronze Sword replied that he didn't mind if Sun Chen's lord was a great immortal because he was one as well. He then asked Sun Chen to speak more like they had known each other for so long. Sun Chen apologized and told them that he was just a small fry who didn't know any better and asked them to be generous. He then informed them that Chen Pingyan's friend had earned 300,000 immortal crystals from the wager, and after redeeming them, there was a tax of 50,000 immortal crystals he could take. He went on to say that they should spare his worthless life, to which Chen Pingyan's group mumbled that he was too straightforward. The Black Dragon was worried and asked Bronze Sword if Sun Chen would do something. Bronze Sword responded that it didn't matter what Sun Chen did since he was not afraid of anyone in the immortal world. After a while, the depressed man mumbled that the whole town saw the young master of the Meng family running around naked and wondered how he could meet people in the future. Chen Pingyan consoled young Master Meng, telling him that everything was fine and that his life would soon be over. Young Master Meng informed Chen Pingyan that he was an immortal and that he still had 1,000 years to live. Later, Chen Pingyan asked him to move because the people in the area were loud, and he told young Master Meng that they had a net of 250,000 immortal crystals. Sun Chen was enraged, thinking that if Chen Pingyan thought it was good to win at the battle pool, the great immortal was powerful, and told him to just wait to die. After a while, Chen Pingyan informed Brother Meng that he did not want the bonus and that they were the immortal crystals he had earned. Brother Meng responded that it was the bonus Chen Pingyan had worked hard for, and that he had told the Black Dragon that he would use him as a betting item, so he was simply repaying his principal. He telepathically asked the Black Dragon if it was okay if he said it like that. The Black Dragon proudly replied that Chen Pingyan would surely remember him. Chen Pingyan was amazed while staring at the 250,000 immortal crystals. Brother Meng thought that spending a bit of money to be remembered by Chen Pingyan was worth the spend. Chen Pingyan told the dog that they were gonna go back and get some food. Zhao Bankia called Chen Pingyan and asked him if he had come to the immortal treasury for something. He added that if he needed anything, he should notify him because the secret realm was about to open and the clan would fully support him. Chen Pingyan thanked Zhao Bankia and wondered if there was ever a good thing that came from him. He then told Zhao Bankia that he had seen an immortal spiritual being in the treasury, but lacked 20,000 immortal crystals. Zhao Bankia responded that 20,000 crystals were not a problem, but that the immortal spiritual being would be suitable for Zhao Buzhu. Zhao Buzhu sarcastically apologized to Chen Pingyan and told him that the immortal spiritual being would be better for his cultivation. Chen Pingyan thought that he had lost his chance. Zhao Buzhu mocked him and said that he should just wait for the treasury to restock. Chen Pingyan thought that the keeper of the treasury informed him that the immortal spiritual being was rare and if he were to miss the chance, he might not be able to buy it again. He then asked Zhao Buzhu if he could give up the treasure voluntarily and raise his price to buy it. Zhao Buzhu responded with a smile that Chen Pingyan didn't have a good personality, and wondered if he still thought he was a genius. Brother Meng stepped in and joined the conversation, telling Zhao Buzhu that Chen Pingyan had no money problems because he had money. Zhao Buzhu was surprised and wondered why Brother Meng was with Chen Pingyan. He then wondered why someone from the Meng family would associate with Chen Pingyan and assumed that Chen Pingyan's talent had returned. Meng Fanyun greeted Zhao Bankia. He then asked Zhao Buzhu to name his price and that as long as he was willing to give up on the treasure, he'd pay the amount to him as payment. Zhao Bankia suspected that something was wrong when the Meng family, who sought the greatest profit, said such things, and he wondered if they were attempting to recruit Chen Pingyan. Chen Pingyan and Meng Ganyan stared anticipatingly at Zhao Buzhu. Zhao Buzhu sighed and told Brother Meng that he was not willing to give it up and that unfortunately, he needed the item. Chen Pingyan had an idea to ask Zhao Bankia, as it seemed that he could not buy it directly. He then mumbled that if he had the immortal being, not only would his talent return, but it would be even greater, and that all he could do now was drag the clan down. Zhao Bankia was alerted and inquired of Chen Pingyan whether what he said that minute was true and if his talent would return. Chen Pingyan answered that it was true, so Zhao Bankia became excited and told Zhao Buzhu that Chen Pingyan's case was more urgent, asking him to hand over the treasure and promising to find him another. Zhao Buzhu was irritated and muttered that Zhao Bankia wasn't listening, so he decided to sell the treasure for 120,000 immortal crystals to Chen Pingyan. He then thought that he couldn't let Chen Pingyan regain his strength, otherwise he'd be left out in the Zhao family. Chen Pingyan was crying and mumbled that he had borrowed 20 immortal crystals from Meng Fanyun since he had only 100,000 immortal crystals. Zhao Bankia responded that Chen Pingyan need not worry because he would not retract what he said and the clan would make it up to him. Upset, Zhao Buzhu handed over the treasure and congratulated Chen Pingyan on his early recovery. He then informed Zhao Bankia he would go cultivate since the immortal realm was about to open. Zhao Buzhu then murmured that Chen Pingyan had spent his entire life working to acquire the immortal spiritual being, and that when the time came, he would have it. Meanwhile, at the Meng family's house, a man yelled at Meng Fanyun for spending the entire budget given to him by the family on gambling and not explaining everything he had done in the battle pool. Meng Fanyun explained that he had done nothing wrong and was simply befriending a peerless powerhouse for the Meng family. He then asked his father if he had felt the 3 powerful auras from the battle pool's direction. Meng Fanyun's father questioned him if he had been able to befriend a powerhouse and that befriending them for 80,000 immortal crystals wasn't a loss. Meng Fanyun answered that not only had he befriended one powerful person, but there were also 3, and among them, one was from the God realm. Father Meng was anticipating more details from him. Meng Fanyun then explained everything that had happened to his father. Father Meng happily told Meng Fanyun that what he had done was fantastic. He then wondered why Meng Fanyun had pawned his clothes, saying that it wasn't like they were lacking 20,000 immortal crystals. Meng Fanyun informed his father that someone like Chen Pingyan couldn't be lacking wealth and assumed that it must be a test. That's why he had done his very best to earn his favor. He then added that the Black Dragon had said that Chen Pingyan liked to keep a low profile, so the matter must never be known. Father Meng understood and told his son that he would keep the matter sealed and gave Meng Fanyan an allowance, assuming that Chen Pingyan would require it. After a while, a man appeared. Zhao Bankia greeted the ancient heavenly immortal emperor. Chen Yichen then told Zhao Bankia to stop his nonsense and asked if there was anyone in his clan with a Fen Shen cultivation base who had gone to the battle pool. Zhao Bankia recognized the description and told Yichen that it would be Zhao Ziyan and wondered if he had caused trouble. Chen Yichen confirmed that there was indeed a person named Zhao Ziyan. They both got spooked by an explosion, and Yichen asked what was happening. They flew towards the cause of the explosion and were surprised by what they saw. Zhao Bankia asked the immortal emperor what Zhao Baju was doing. Yichen answered that Zhao Baju was circulating his ki and told him that he might be able to awaken the legendary immortal flame physique. He then added that when he grew up, his achievements would be limitless. Zhao Bankia was happy with the news and thought that God was blessing his clan. He then asked Zhao Baju to greet the ancient heavenly immortal emperor and thought that Yichen might take him as a disciple, and the Zhao family would soar. Zhao Baju greeted Chen Yichen. He then thought about Zhao Ziyan and realized that even without the immortal spiritual Bayan, he was strong enough to awaken the immortal flame physique. From now on, he wouldn't have to be scared of Zhao Ziyo. Chen Yichen asked Zhao Bankia where Zhao Ziyan lived and requested that he bring him there. Surprised, Zhao Baju wondered why Yichen was looking for Zhao Ziyan and got annoyed that it was always Zhao Ziyan. After a while, Zhao Bankia asked Yichen to wait as he called Zhao Ziyan. Chen Yichen halted Bankia and told him that it would be rude. He then informed Zhao Ziyan that he had come to visit and wondered if he would be able to meet him. Zhao Bankia believed that Yichen had come because Zhao Ziyan had caused trouble. They were then met with silence. Distressed, Zhao Bankia assured Chen Yichen that Zhao Ziyan probably hadn't heard them and wondered if he should go look for him. Chen Yichen assumed that maybe Zhao Ziyan didn't want to see him. He then thought of a peerless powerhouse who purposely left an impression on the immortal emperor, warning him to be wary of him. Yichen added that Chen Pingyan has the manner of a master. He proceeded to inform Zhao Ziyan that he had dealt with the person in charge of the battle pool and apologized. He then went on to say that if Zhao Ziyan didn't wish to see him, he would return soon and apologize. Zhao Bankia was surprised by the kind of attitude Yichen presented, which was the same for the immortal emperor, and wondered what Zhao Ziyan had done. Chen Yichen asked Zhao Bankia why Zhao Ziyan was living in such deplorable conditions and inquired about what happened to the previous generation. He was irritated, mumbling that Zhao Ziyan was the immortal emperor's special guest, and they dared to bully him. He said that if it came to this, they should remember to treat Zhao Ziyan properly because he is the true noble of the Zhao family. He then told Zhao Bankia that the fact that he came should not be announced, and if anyone asked, he should inform them that he came for the kid with the immortal flame physique. Zhao Bankia understood and wondered what Zhao Ziyan and Yu Donglai had in common. He then realized that Zhao Ziyan's mother's surname was Yu. Meanwhile, at Chen Pingyan's house, Chen Pingyan asked Zhang Yuxin and Xiao Linger if they had missed him. Zhang Yuxin welcomed him back while talking to a stranger. The stranger introduced himself as Deng Gui Kai, Xia Suyi's friend, and explained that he had come to greet Chen Pingyan. Chen Pingyan then told him not to take offense from his rudeness earlier. Deng Gui Kai stuttered and responded that Zhang Yuxin had already entertained him, and that he didn't want any trouble. Chen Pingyan looked annoyed at what Deng Gui Kai said. The door opened, and Xia Suyi appeared and asked Chen Pingyan to take care of Xiao Linger for him as he won't be back for a while. Chen Pingyan agreed and told him that Xiao Linger is like a sister to him. Xia Suyi then flew and thanked Chen Pingyan. Enraged, Chen Pingyan asked Zhang Yuxin if it seemed that she enjoyed talking to him. Zhang Yuxin inquired if Chen Pingyan was jealous. Blushing, Chen Pingyan denied the accusation. Zhang Yuxin asked Chen Pingyan if he was really not jealous. He then took Zhang Yuxin's hand in his and said that he would not let her hold him by a leash, and that he would be jealous because he was her fiancé. He went on to say that Zhang Yuxin can't talk to other men like what happened earlier in the future. Chen Pingyan was cut off when Zhang Yuxin kissed him. She asked if he was going to punish her. Chen Pingyan blushed. Flattered, Chen Pingyan told Zhang Yuxin that it seemed like she needed a good spanking. Xiao Linger was confused as she heard Chen Pingyan's name being called. Chen Pingyan informed them that he was going to buy something, and he would let Zhang Yuxin off for now. The next morning, in the outer forest of King Yuan Town, Chen Pingyan was meditating. He muttered that the immortal spiritual Bayan was still working, and at least he could control a bit of the second basis of heaven and earth's power. Chen Pingyan claimed that the immortal spiritual Bayan was quite small and had an idea to see if the system had something similar. He then searched for an immortal spiritual Bayan that cost 1 million points and muttered that he had overstepped his authority. Chen Pingyan told the dog that it was now time for them to return to the immortal world and wondered if he could buy a new one in the immortal realm. After some time, in the immortal realm, Chen Pingyan arrived and muttered that he would go first to the treasury. He was then attacked by an unknown person. The Black Dragon and Phoenix simultaneously asked the man if he was looking for death. The man kneeled and mumbled that his mission stated that the target would have been in the immortal nascent realm and asked Chen Pingyan if he was Zhao Ziyan. The Black Dragon ordered the man to be quiet and pushed him hard towards the ground. Chen Pingyan inquired about the man who had sent him. The man responded that he would rather die than reveal anything to him. Phoenix mused and told Chen Pingyan that he should just let them handle the man and they would make him talk. Chen Pingyan inquired about what they intended to do with the man. The Black Dragon and Phoenix grinned and informed Chen Pingyan that since immortals couldn't die easily, they could just slowly cut off his non-lethal organs, such as his family jewels. Phoenix added that they could also torture his spirit, remove his cultivation base, then turn him into a girl and send him to the red light district. The man trembled, and Chen Pingyan told them to make sure that the yard would not get dirty. The man begged Chen Pingyan to wait and was willing to cooperate. He asked him to give him a quick death. Chen Pingyan allowed the man to speak. The man then revealed that it was Zhao Buzhu who sent him. Chen Pingyan's doubts were dispelled, and he concluded that Zhao Buzhu had something to do with Zhao Ziyan's loss of cultivation base. He then told the man that he would keep his promise and give him a quick death. Chen Pingyan thought of trying the explosive function, which blew the man's head off. Minutes passed by, and Chen Pingyan mumbled that he had used all his points to kill an immortal and it dropped a stone. He then cursed at the system and said it was cheating on him. Chen Pingyan then mumbled that the things that had exploded could be recycled through the system and he would see how many points they were worth. The system awarded Chen Pingyan 100,000 points, which surprised him because the stone was worth a lot of points. Chen Pingyan smiled and thought that it looked like the immortal spiritual bane from the system was not so bad. Zhao Lei called Chen Pingyan and informed him that the immortal Emperor Dugu had come to the Zhao family, and that the family head was looking for him to meet the immortal emperor. Chen Pingyan was baffled as to why the immortal emperor had visited the Zhao family. Zhao Lei added that Zhao Buzhu had awakened the immortal flame physique and that the immortal emperor was visiting to accept disciples. Annoyed, she then mumbled that Zhao Buzhu didn't deserve it. Chen Pingyan responded that it was usually not his turn to meet an important person. Zhao Lei agreed. He then thought that Zhao Buzhu might be trying to take the chance to humiliate him. He then told Zhao Lei that he would go inside, that it was unfortunate that Zhao Buzhu would be a disciple of the immortal emperor, and that he wouldn't be able to get revenge in such a short time. Meanwhile, in the discussion hall, the immortal emperor Dugu told Zhao Buzhu that despite his youth, he already understood the cultivation method. Zhao Buzhu thanked the immortal emperor for his praise and told him that he was not worthy of such praise. Zhao Bankia believed that it was time to wait for Zhao Ziyan to come, and that if the immortal emperor also knew Zhao Ziyan, then his guess would be correct. He then considered whether his guess was correct or not, and whether Zhao Ziyan would be able to rise again now that Chen Yichen had spoken of him. Zhao Bankia told Zhao Ziyan to come and greet the immortal emperor Dugu. Upset, the immortal emperor wondered why Zhao Bankia called for others and that they had an agreement that he would only accept one disciple. He was taken aback and inquired as to what Chen Pingyan was doing there. Chen Pingyan thought that the immortal emperor Dugu was oddly familiar. Enraged, Zhao Buzhu wondered why Zhao Ziyan was still living and believed that the assassin didn't do his job. Zhao Bankia smiled and claimed that his guess was correct, that the immortal emperor Dugu knew Zhao Ziyan, and believed that Zhao Ziyan's influence must be huge. He then introduced Zhao Ziyan to the immortal emperor Dugu, explaining that he had requested his assistance because his cultivation base had been damaged. The immortal emperor Dugu was puzzled by Chen Pingyan's disguised name and wondered how the personal traits of two people could be so different. He then believed that it couldn't be Zhao Ziyan but Chen Pingyan, and proceeded to wonder why. He came to the conclusion that Chen Pingyan must have a goal for disguising himself as the younger generation of the family, and that he must not mess up his plans by talking indiscriminately. Dugu responded, believing that Zhao Ziyan had a glow-up as he remembered that he didn't look like that in the past. He then had an idea if he might be wrong. Chen Pingyan answered that people do change and thought that it looked like Dugu didn't know him and that he probably thought wrong. Dugu assumed that Chen Pingyan's calling him an immortal emperor must be a hint, and that he would just wait until there was no one to plead forgiveness to him. He then informed them that because he was pleased with Zhao Buzhu's talents, he would accept him as his disciple and that they would hold a banquet that day. Zhao Buzhu thanked the immortal emperor and asked him to accept his gratitude. Dugu then thought that Grandpa Miron once said that Chen Pingyan often picked juniors to cultivate and assumed that Zhao Buzhu's awakening must have been caused by Chen Pingyan, and that this time, he would get Zhao Buzhu instead of Chen Yichen. Meanwhile, inside the Zhao house's courtyard, as the banquet was about to begin, Zhao Bankia inquired about the whereabouts of the immortal emperor Dugu. A man responded that it seemed that Dugu had gone in the direction of Zhao Ziyan. Zhao Bankia told the man to get busy and be careful serving the guests, to which the man agreed. He then thought that Dugu and Zhao Ziyan knew each other and claimed that it was a great opportunity. Zhao Bankia took a concealing talisman and thought that it could make the immortal emperor not discover him, and that he just had to listen to their conversation, and he would be able to determine Zhao Ziyan's identity. Meanwhile, Chen Pingyan was reading a book and was interrupted by a knock. He then told them to come in, and Dugu appeared and greeted Chen Pingyan. Surprised, Chen Pingyan realized that Dugu actually recognized him. Dugu apologized for his rudeness earlier and asked Chen Pingyan to forgive him. Chen Pingyan told him that it was fine and that he didn't expect to meet him there. Eavesdropping, Zhao Bankia was shocked as Dugu called Zhao Ziyan Sr. Dugu then told Chen Pingyan that he had no idea he would be in the immortal realm and asked why he was there. Chen Pingyan answered that the reason he came was for a game of chess. He then thought that the master in fiction would frequently come to play chess and wondered if his acting had worsened. Dugu then assumed that Chen Pingyan was playing a big game of chess and that he was a pawn in it, and that he was worth something. He then told Chen Pingyan that he understood his hint and asked him to leave it to him, promising to properly conceal his identity and never reveal it. Chen Pingyan was puzzled as to what Dugu meant by the hint. He nervously grinned and told Dugu that it was good that he understood. Dugu inquired if they should notify the immortal emperor to come and greet Chen Pingyan, as he had long admired him. Chen Pingyan responded that it wasn't the right time. He then thought that the visual bug was sometimes not working, and believed that there was no need to take the risk. Zhao Bankia was taken aback by what he heard and wondered who Zhao Ziyan was. He then tiptoed out and thought that he must not stay for long, or else he would be silenced. Meanwhile, the Meng family arrived at the banquet. Father Meng wondered why Zhao Bankia looked depressed and told him that he was supposed to be happy that someone in his family became a disciple of the immortal emperor. Zhao Bankia asked Father Meng if he already knew that Zhao Ziyan's identity was not normal. Confused, Father Meng asked Zhao Bankia what he was talking about. Zhao Bankia then told him that the Meng family always prioritized profits, and that if there was nothing special about Zhao Ziyan, why was the Meng family willing to assist him? He then informed him that he had eavesdropped on Zhao Ziyan's conversation with immortal Emperor Dugu, and that he could not keep the truth from him. Father Meng, taken aback, asked if Zhao Bankia had truly eavesdropped on the conversation between two immortal powerhouses. Zhao Bankia smiled and realized that even the immortal emperor had to be careful. Father Meng was upset that he had been tricked. Zhao Bankia then told him to relax and that since Chen Pingyan was a God Realm powerhouse, he must have discovered that he was eavesdropping and wondered why he didn't stop him. Father Meng presumed that Chen Pingyan might have wanted Zhao Bankia to listen, and that their conversation was also his plan. Zhao Bankia mused that now that they were both pawns, he asked if he could tell him more in detail. After some time, a man announced and thanked everyone who attended Zhao Baju's apprenticeship ceremony. Chen Pingyan thought that if it weren't for his haughty manner as his senior, he would have told Dugu to give up on accepting disciples. Meng Fanyan called Chen Pingyan and asked him if he still wanted to buy immortal spiritual bands and that he thought of a way to get him more immortal crystals. Chen Pingyan thanked Meng Fanyan and assured him that he would pay him back when he saved some money. He then assumed that the Black Dragon was cunning the last time he took the initiative to give him immortal crystals and that it was probably only 10 or 20,000 immortal crystals since he was a junior. Meng Fanyan smiled and informed Chen Pingyan that 200,000 immortal crystals were nothing, so it didn't matter if he didn't pay him back. Chen Pingyan was taken aback when he heard Meng Fanyan's words. Zhao Mafan called out Chen Pingyan and told him that his brother was the true successor of the Zhao family, and that he would never catch up to him. He then advised Chen Pingyan to return Zhao Lei to him, or otherwise he would make sure no one would be able to help him. Chen Pingyan stood up and asked him if it was up to him. Zhao Mafan mused that Chen Pingyan only beat him once with a sneak attack and asked what there was to be proud of. He then added that if Chen Pingyan were a man, then he should fight him in a spar. The audience was perplexed as to why they suddenly wanted to fight and realized that it was Zhao Ziyan who was causing trouble. Chen Pingyan assumed it was Zhao Baju's fault because he wanted to make a fool of himself in front of the guests. He then grinned and accepted Zhao Mafan's challenge and thought that it was a good opportunity to tell immortal Emperor Dugu not to accept Zhao Baju as a disciple. Zhao Mafan threatened Chen Pingyan, saying that he would beat him until he begged for mercy. Dugu then asked Zhao Bankia who was causing the trouble. Zhao Bankia responded that he was the younger brother of Zhao Baju and informed him that he had some conflicts with Zhao Ziyan. He then thought it was all over, and if he had known what was going on, he would have grounded Zhao Mafan. Dugu thought that it must be Chen Pingyan's plan and believed that he must not interrupt his plans rashly. Zhao Mafan informed Chen Pingyan that he had knocked him out the previous time due to a sneak attack. However, this time he had spent a large amount of immortal crystal to purchase his set of armor, rendering his tricks completely useless. He then attacked Chen Pingyan, but Chen Pingyan struck back by knocking him to the ground. Chen Pingyan mumbled that Zhao Mafan only knows how to talk. The crowd applauded and wondered if Zhao Ziyan had recovered. Concerned, Zhao Baju held his brother and told him to wake up. Dugu was shocked and believed that Chen Pingyan used the Dao arts when he made his attack. He then claimed that he managed to break through just by observing Chen Pingyan's attack and that his cultivation also improved. Dugu then thought that Chen Pingyan didn't need to bring out a powerful attack to defeat Zhao Mafan and assumed that he definitely did that on purpose to provide him a chance of epiphany. He then mused that he would thank Chen Pingyan later when there were fewer people and asked if he could give him some lessons. Enraged, Zhao Baju threatened Zhao Ziyan for injuring Zhao Mafan and asked him for a duel. Chen Pingyan smiled and thought that his plan was a success. He then responded that he would accept Zhao Baju's challenge and told him that he should better ask for his master's opinion first. Zhao Baju believed that immortal Emperor Dugu would definitely agree with him. But Dugu silenced Zhao Baju, declaring that they were now strangers to each other and that he was no longer his disciple. Shocked, Zhao Baju mumbled that Dugu must be joking. Dugu retorted that Zhao Baju wouldn't be able to go far with his arrogance and recklessness, and that he didn't need such a disciple. He then apologized to Zhao Ziyan for not being able to judge people properly and hoped he wouldn't blame him for it. Chen Pingyan responded that Dugu was being too polite and went on to say that Zhao Baju indeed did not deserve to be his disciple. Dugu agreed and told him that he would definitely look properly before finding a disciple in the future. At this moment, Zhao Baju was enraged. A huge portal appeared, which made the people wonder what it was. Chen Yichen appeared and wondered if Brother Huang was holding a disciple acceptance ceremony. A stranger realized that it was the ancient heavenly immortal emperor, while the other stranger muttered that she heard that Chen Yichen came yesterday and said he wanted to take Zhao Baju as his disciple as he fancied his immortal flame physique. On that same night, Chen Yichen wondered if Dugu was holding an apprenticeship ceremony. Dugu confirmed and responded that he had ended his master-student relationship with Zhao Buzhu. He then inquired as to why Chen Yichen was there. Chen Yichen told him that he had come to visit as he was looking for someone. He asked if Zhao Ziyan was available to speak with him. Surprised, Chen Pingyan thought that it was quite strange that Chen Yichen was looking for him and that it looked like the visual bug was not active. Chen Pingyan informed Chen Yichen that he had something to ask Dugu and asked if he didn't mind chatting with them together. He then thought that it was not good to delay and that since he was friends with Dugu, he should bring him along just to be safe. Chen Yichen agreed and told them that he had booked a room in the restaurant and asked them to step into the array so he could teleport them. Enraged, Zhao Buzhu thought about how a person like Chen Pingyan could obtain the recognition of the immortal emperor. He then clenched his fist and threatened Chen Pingyan that he would make him taste the pain of losing his talent and falling from the top again. Meanwhile, Chen Pingyan and the two immortal emperors arrived at the restaurant. Chen Pingyan then inquired about why Chen Yichen was looking for him. Chen Yichen bowed and responded that he came to make amends for what happened in the battle pool, and that it was due to his lack of strictness that the steward of the battle pool attempted to murder him. He added that the steward had been dealt with, so if Chen Pingyan was dissatisfied, he could inform him so that he could make amends. Chen Pingyan wondered why a dignified immortal emperor had personally come to him just to apologize. He thought about testing Chen Yichen and asked him if he already knew that he was different. Yichen answered that he had heard a thing or two from the immortal emperor Beishan and that he had to be respectful towards him. Chen Pingyan was puzzled as to how he got involved with immortal emperor Beishan and wondered what was going on. He asked Dugu to tell Yichen more in detail since it seemed that he didn't know much. Dugu happily agreed. Chen Pingyan then considered who they truly believed he was and what was going on with immortal emperor Beishan. Dugu explained everything to Yichen. Flattered, Chen Pingyan thought that Dugu was exaggerating too much, and besides, after talking for so long, there still weren't any main points about immortal emperor Beishan. Chen Pingyan coughed and told them that he had an interesting story about immortal emperor Beishan and asked if they would like to hear it. The two immortal emperors cheerfully agreed. He then asked them if they knew the name of the former immortal emperor. Chen Pingyan then thought that if Grandpa Murong was friends with Huang Zhenqian, then maybe immortal emperor Beishan was someone that he knew. Huang Zhenqian responded that Beishan's surname was Su and that his name was Yi, and asked Chen Pingyan if there was something wrong. Chen Pingyan then realized that immortal emperor Beishan they were talking about was Xiao Linger's father. He told them that when Beishan was little, his name was Suo Gudan. Both immortal emperors were shocked and mumbled that Chen Pingyan was knowledgeable. Chen Yichen was anxious and blamed Sun Chen for how much trouble he gave him. Chen Pingyan then told them that they can still change, and that he didn't mind giving them one or two more chances. The two immortal emperors bowed and asked Chen Pingyan to clarify. Chen Pingyan told them that Zhao Lei of the Zhao family and Meng Fan of the Meng family had been blessed with great fate, and if the two of them took Chen Yichen and Sun Chen as their disciples, they would be able to get their share of favor. The two thanked Chen Pingyan. Huang Zhenqian inquired how Chen Pingyan was going to deal with Zhao Buzhu. Chen Pingyan responded with another question about how he thought Zhao Buzhu should be handled. Meanwhile, a portal appeared, and the crowd murmured that the two immortal emperors had returned, wondering what they were discussing. One person was puzzled and inquired about who Zhao Ziyan was. Huang Zhenqian then announced that Zhao Buzhu wasn't worthy of being his disciple due to his arrogance, and that he had decided to choose someone else from the Zhao family as his disciple instead. He then went on to say that the person he had chosen was Zhao Lei. Zhao Lei was having mixed emotions but eventually thanked Huang Zhenqian. Huang Zhenqian told her not to thank him as it was Zhao Ziyan who she should be thanking. Chen Pingyan smiled and thought that it was all thanks to Zhao Lei's kindness for taking care of Zhao Ziyan in the past. Chen Yichen asked Meng Fanyan to step forward and announced him as his disciple. Meng Fanyan was surprised that he was also picked and hugged Chen Pingyan as he still remembered him, telling him that he would repay him with his body. Cringing, Chen Pingyan responded that no one wanted Meng Fanyan's body as a payment. After some time, Chen Pingyan felt relieved and mumbled that he had finally gotten rid of Meng Fanyan. He then announced that he was back home and asked Xiao Linger about Zhang Yuxin's whereabouts. Xiao Linger responded that Zhang Yuxin had run away from home. Chen Pingyan, stunned, told Xiao Ling that she might be joking and wondered why Zhang Yuxin would flee when they were due to marry in half a month. He then tried to find Zhang Yuxin, mumbling to stop colluding with Xiao Linger to scare him and asking her to come out. Xiao Linger then informed Chen Pingyan that Zhang Yuxin had already moved back to the bookstore and left a message that she was not coming back until the day of the marriage. Chen Pingyan asked if Xiao Linger had made Zhang Yuxin upset. Enraged, Xiao Linger told Chen Pingyan not to blame her, as Zhang Yuxin had stated that she wanted to temporarily be alone and spend the remaining month by herself. Blushing, Chen Pingyan notified Xiao Linger that he was going to ask for clarification. Later on, Chen Pingyan knocked on Zhang Yuxin's door and told her that if she could run away from home, she could open the door. Zhang Yuxin opened the door and told Chen Pingyan that he was so noisy. She went on to ask if Xiao Linger had not informed him already that she wanted to be separated from Chen Pingyan for half a month. Chen Pingyan blushed and responded that he was not there to convince her and that he just came to visit for an explanation. Zhang Yuxin then told Chen Pingyan that the marriage thing was still too quick and that she was testing herself to see if she really loved him and to see if not seeing him for half a month would make her miss him. Chen Pingyan frowned and told her that since she had given him an explanation, he would be leaving and that since she was living alone, she should lock the doors and that he would give her a weapon for safety. Jang Yuxin grabbed Chen Pingin's hand and kissed him on the cheek. She then whispered to Chen Pingin that although she kind of missed him, once she said a word, it would be hard to continue. Jang Yuxin then asked Chen Pingin to go back, as Xiao Linger was all by herself. Jang Yuxin mumbled that if she didn't leave for a while, both of their plans would fail and it would be even more chaotic. She then noticed a strange man and wondered why he had suddenly appeared. She thought that the strange man might also have a plan for Chen Pingin and muttered that her ability to deduce an inscrutable twist of fate was much better than his. Meanwhile, a merchant asked the strange man what he wanted to buy, as he sold a variety of good products. The man asked the merchant if he had heard the name Zhuhei Oxuan, the supreme heavenly appreciator. Elder Ying suddenly felt weird, and the strange man stated that it had been a long time since they had seen each other. Elder Ying then told the strange man that it was about time they met him. After some time, Chen Pingin opened the door as someone knocked and asked who the guests were. An old man then informed Chen Pingin that the two men were there for him, and that he had brought them to his house since they didn't know the way. The old man then introduced Chen Pingin and told the strangers that he would head back to the medical center as his work there was done. Elder Ying whispered and asked the strange man if it was alright to just let the man go like that. The strange man responded that they could not drag him because Shen Bao's memories had not yet awakened. The man introduced himself as Ying Chen Yan and asked Chen Pingin if he didn't mind him visiting. Chen Pingin invited the guests to come inside and have a drink. He thought that since Lang Zhong had brought the strangers, it was best for him to greet them. Ying Chen Yan greeted the immortal weapons as they hadn't seen each other for a long time. Anxious, Phoenix wondered if Chen Pingin would still take care of them once his memory was back. The dragon mused that Jang Yuxin would probably still protect them. Chen Pingin then asked Ying Chen Yan to have a drink. The broom laughed and told Chopper that he had bad luck. Phoenix mused that the fun part had just arrived. A young girl told Chopper that she missed him so much. Chopper did not respond, causing the girl to fume and mumble that he was always like that and never talked to her. Enraged, the girl believed that there must be someone trying to get between them, making Chopper unfamiliar with her, and that she would find that someone and beat him up. The girl then noticed Bronze Sword and claimed that he must be the one. The girl grabbed the Bronze Sword and told him to talk, wondering why he wasn't speaking. Chopper transformed and called out to Miss Wooden Sword. Miss Wooden Sword threw the Bronze Sword and became cheerful as Chopper finally spoke to her. She then told Chopper that it had been so long since they had seen each other and asked him for a good fight. Chopper responded that the spiritual Wooden Sword Master was only there for a cup of tea, and told her that next time he would have a fight with her. The girl was disappointed. Ying Chen Yan then bid goodbye to Chen Pingin and thanked him for the tea. The girl then told Chopper that he must remember that next time they would fight. Bronze Sword wondered who the lady was and why Chopper feared her. Chopper then told Bronze Sword if he would not also be afraid if someone who can't beat him challenges him profusely, and when they cry it makes others look at him with condemning eyes. Bronze Sword understood what Chopper meant. Chopper mused that Bronze Sword was trash and that he didn't have that kind of problem. He humbly told him that no one understands the pain of being strong. Chen Pingin arrived and told Bronze Sword that they were going to the Immortal Realm. Upset, Bronze Sword reassured Chen Pingin that he was fine and that he was just hating himself for being weak. After some time, at the Immortal Realm, at the gates of the Zhao family, Chen Pingin mumbled that he had to quickly go to the Immortal Treasury. Zhao Buzhu asked Chen Pingin to wait. Chen Pingin inquired as to what the matter was. Zhao Buzhu apologized to Chen Pingin and told him that after much thought, he realized he shouldn't have gotten angry and asked for a duel with him. Chen Pingin went on to say that he had always been magnanimous and that since Zhao Buzhu admitted his mistake, he would forgive him. He then thought that if Zhao Buzhu was not afraid of being charged with murdering his own family members, he would not be allowed to walk to that day. Upset, Zhao Buzhu told Chen Pingin that he was so generous and asked him if they should shake hands and make peace. Chen Pingin doubted if Zhao Buzhu's hand had poison. The system informed him that it was responsible for the protection of the host, which made Chen Pingin assured. Chen Pingin happily agreed and told him that they could now settle their grievances. Zhao Buzhu smiled and mumbled that Chen Pingin was doomed. Meanwhile, the system warned Chen Pingin that a mysterious curse had appeared on his body, and that his cultivation was being engulfed by a large amount. The system stated that Chen Pingin needed to wait while it replenished his cultivation base. Chen Pingin then told the system not to replenish it all at once and to keep the illusion of his cultivation base declining, letting Zhao Buzhu absorb it slowly, to which the system understood. He believed that the curse was what made Zhao Ziyan's cultivation base regress, and that the curse that destroyed a genius would inevitably exact a great price. He smiled and thought that since Zhao Buzhu loved to use such evil means, he would make him suffer the consequences of his actions. Meanwhile, Zhao Buzhu spurted blood while meditating. Enraged, he grumbled that he had already sacrificed his entire 1,000 years of life essence and wondered how Zhao Ziyan could still have his cultivation. He then went on to say that it took him 500 years of life essence just to regress Zhao Ziyan's cultivation from the immortal nascent realm to the Fen, and wondered why. The book spoke and told Zhao Buzhu that if he still didn't understand, it was because Zhao Ziyan had a treasure on him, and informed him that he had been played. Zhao Buzhu was taken aback and inquired about the book. The book responded that it was the most valuable mystical book in the God Realm's mysterious pavilion. It then asked Zhao Buzhu why he was suddenly scared now, given that he had learned so many secrets from the book. Zhao Buzhu was frightened and told the book that he didn't mean to learn from it. The book laughed and assured Zhao Buzhu not to fear him, and said that since Zhao Buzhu was able to learn from it, fate and the life essence he gave to the book had just awakened it. The book was satisfied with him and asked Zhao Buzhu if he wanted to be the master of the mysterious pavilion. Zhao Buzhu then called the book master. After some time, Chen Pingyan thought that his cultivation base had stopped declining and that it looked like Zhao Buzhu couldn't endure it anymore. A system message popped up stating that it had completely recovered Chen Pingyan's cultivation base. Chen Pingyan then noticed a familiar face and thought about Liu Shuai, whom he had met in his first mission. He doubted if it was really Liu Shuai and decided to follow them and find a chance to ask. Chen Pingyan stalked them and was recognized by a stranger who greeted him. The stranger approached him and asked if he could have lunch with him. Chen Pingyan declined and told the stranger that he had an appointment and said he would have a drink with him next time. The stranger apologized for not knowing that Chen Pingyan had an appointment. Chen Pingyan ran upstairs and wondered where Liu Shuai had gone. He noticed that his companions were still there, believing that Liu Shuai must have left for a while. He then decided to wait there. One of Liu Shuai's companions mumbled that Liu Shuai was still not a gentleman. Chen Pingyan overheard their conversation and wondered how Liu Shuai ended up in the immortal realm, thinking that he must be an immortal hiding his identity. He then thought that Liu Shuai had a clan in the Jianwu kingdom, and his situation was different from Huang Zhenqian's. He believed that it must be some sort of chance. After that, the man who was Liu Shuai's companion mumbled that Liu Shuai was the immortal emperor's disciple, and that he probably thought that he didn't need others. Liu Ruping wondered and told the man that they were also both disciples of the immortal emperor. She then looked around and whispered to her companion, inquiring if Liu Shuai was gay and asked him to test him. Chen Pingyan was taken aback when the enraged companion approached him and asked if he was listening in on their conversation. Anxious, Chen Pingyan told him that he would never eavesdrop and that they both misunderstood because he just thought of something funny. He then noticed the immortal spiritual bane around the woman's neck and thought that it was twice the size of the one he had. Upset, the woman asked Chen Pingyan if he had a death wish and told him that if he thought that they couldn't see through his lies. Chen Pingyan responded that they were the ones being aggressive. Liu Shuai arrived and asked his companions if they hadn't ordered yet. Liu Ruping told Liu Shuai that they were waiting for him. The man then warned Chen Pingyan to keep his mouth shut and think twice before inciting the second immortal emperor disciple. Liu Ruping then asked Liu Shuai to help her choose the dishes. Chen Pingyan claimed that the man was afraid to let Liu Shuai hear what he said. He then called Liu Shuai, which surprised him. Liu Shuai then asked Chen Pingyan about his purpose in visiting the immortal realm. Chen Pingyan mused that he never expected to meet him there, to which Liu Shuai agreed. Liu Shuai suspected that Chen Pingyan was hiding his identity again, and that he had a plan, so he had to think before speaking. Chen Pingyan inquired as to why Liu Shuai had arrived in the immortal realm and how he had become a disciple of an immortal emperor. Liu Shuai thanked Chen Pingyan and informed him that if it were not for his guidance to buy the 2 rocks as a birthday present, he wouldn't have had the opportunity to be accepted as a disciple by the immortal emperor. Puzzled, Chen Pingyan wondered when he ever gave him guidance and what kind of rock the immortal emperor could take fancy to. Chen Pingyan told Liu Shuai that there was nothing to worry about, and since they both met in the immortal realm, there was no need for pseudonyms. Liu Shuai understood and thought that Zhao Ziyan must be Chen Pingyan's pseudonym. Liu Ruping whispered to the other man that Liu Shuai and Chen Pingyan looked close and wondered if Chen Pingyan would expose what they just said. The man proudly said that Chen Pingyan wouldn't dare and that even the head of the Zhao family bows when he sees them. Liu Shuai also informed Chen Pingyan that Tian Shanshan and the others were also accepted as disciples by the immortal emperor. Chen Pingyan then thought that since Liu Shuai's companions had bullied him first, he'd be paying back the favor. He then informed Liu Shuai that before he arrived, he chatted with his 2 companions and asked if he wanted to know what they were talking about. Liu Shuai asked if something interesting happened and looked at his stunned companions. Anxious, the man asked Chen Pingyan not to discuss what had happened earlier, while Liu Ruping told him there was no point in mentioning it because nothing had happened. Liu Shuai became doubtful and asked his companions what kind of disputes they had started with Chen Pingyan. He then believed that the 2 of them had made Chen Pingyan displeased and that he should have ignored the request of that immortal emperor to accompany them. Chen Pingyan stepped in and told Liu Shuai that there were no disputes because the pendant Liu Ruping was wearing looked exactly like his, and he just wanted her to take it off so he could get a closer look to make sure it wasn't the one he lost. Liu Ruping leaned and whispered to the man, believing that Chen Pingyan must be trying to rob her. The man responded and told her to ignore Chen Pingyan as it was just a relationship from the lower realm, and that Liu Shuai wouldn't offend them just for him. He went on to say that since Chen Pingyan took the initiative to rob them, he might tell their plans later, and that would make Liu Shuai think that he was just throwing accusations. Liu Ruping smiled and was amazed by the man's quick-wittedness. Liu Shuai claimed that Chen Pingyan was not the type of person who would fight over a pendant, so he believed that he must be teaching them a lesson. He then asked Liu Ruping to show Chen Pingyan the pendant. Liu was enraged and was stopped by the man. The man told her not to forget about the Immortal Emperor's mission and that since Liu Shuai said so, there was nothing they could do about it. Liu Ruping took off the pendant and threw it towards Chen Pingyan. Chen Pingyan then took a closer look and realized that it was the one that he had lost, and thanked Liu Ruping for returning his pendant. Liu Shuai congratulated Chen Pingyan for recovering his belongings. Chen Pingyan then told Liu Shuai that he couldn't stay any longer and informed Liu Shuai that if he didn't have any place to stay, they could stay at the Zhao estate. Liu Shuai accepted the offer, thinking that he had no idea what Chen Pingyan was up to. He then told his companion that they would be temporarily staying at the Zhao residence for a while, and that if they didn't like it, they could find their own place. Liu Ruping inquired to the man about what they should do. The man told her that they would follow as Liu Shuai wished. After some time at the Zhao residence, Zhao Buzhu was delighted to be distinguished by the presence of Liu Shuai's group. Liu Shuai told Zhao Bankia that there was no need for such praise as he just took the liberty to visit and hoped he didn't mind. Liu Ruping murmured that it was pointless to come to stay with such a small family. The man added that he had heard that a junior of the Zhao family had been taken by the immortal Emperor Dugu to become his disciple, but he was not sure. Zhao Buzhu arrived and remarked that he had heard they had important guests. He then bowed and greeted the three guests. The man was amused and inquired if Zhao Buzhu was the disciple of immortal Emperor Dugu. Zhao Buzhu didn't agree and informed them that although he had the immortal flame physique and was almost accepted to become his disciple, he was expelled yesterday. The group was shocked and wondered how the immortal Emperor Dugu could not dare take in a disciple with an immortal flame physique. Liu Ruping had the same reaction. Zhao Buzhu went on to say that his younger brother was injured during the apprentice ceremony, and that he wanted to fight whoever did it, but the immortal emperor decided that his personality was not good. The man got an idea and told Liu Ruping that they were going to atone for a crime by doing good deeds. Liu Ruping wondered if the man wanted to introduce Zhao Buzhu to the immortal emperor, and if his plan was feasible. The man then consoled Zhao Buzhu, telling him that there were multiple immortal emperors, and that if he was interested, he could recommend him to others. Zhao Buzhu then thanked the man. Meanwhile, in King Yuan Town, Chen Pingyan was meditating. He thought that the immortal spiritual Bayan was very useful, and in just one night, he had been able to move the fourth silk thread. He then muttered that it was a pity he hadn't bought the new immortal spiritual Bayan in the fairy treasure pavilion, otherwise, he would be stronger now. He felt relieved, knowing that things in the immortal realm had been dealt with recently. Chen Pingyan opened the door and noticed that Xiao Linger was sitting on a key cluster. Xiao Linger hid the watermelon, and Chen Pingyan asked if she wasn't in the key refinement stage. He then wondered if it was possible to float when you were in the key refinement realm. Xiao Linger mused that she had actually recovered some of her memories and found out that she was already in the nascent soul realm. Chen Pingyan asked how much she remembered and if she remembered her true identity. Xiao Linger told him that she didn't remember everything, but she remembered who her father was, the immortal Emperor Baishan. Chen Pingyan believed that Xiao Linger's strength and memories were sealed together, and since she was the daughter of an immortal emperor, he claimed that she might just be as strong. Xiao Linger then asked Peachtree if she was really determined to tell Chen Pingyan. Peachtree assured her that she had already asked Zhang Yuxin, and she had agreed. The dragon also stated that if they did not inform Chen Pingyan in advance, when he regained his strength, he might become enraged from shame and turn him into a goldfish and ask Xiao Linger for a favor. Xiao Linger responded proudly by leaving it to her. She then told Chen Pingyan that she had something to tell him, to which Chen Pingyan asked what it was. She went on to say that she had suddenly discovered that the things in the yard were not as simple as they appeared, and each of them was very powerful. There appeared to be some restrictions that prevented them from displaying their power. Chen Pingyan's eyes widened as he asked Xiao Linger if she could communicate with them and, if so, why they couldn't show their powers. Xiao Linger then told Chen Pingyan to stop asking, as she felt a headache every time she remembered something. Chen Pingyan agreed to stop and told her to return to her room and rest. Xiao Linger smirked and told the beings that she had done all she could do, and the rest was up to them. Peachtree thanked Xiao Linger and assured her that they would handle the rest. Minutes later, Chen Pingyan thought that Xiao Linger would not say random things randomly, and it looked like the rewards given by the system were not normal things. He then took notice of the chicken. Phoenix became concerned about why Chen Pingyan had chosen him, as well as concerned about why he was heading towards the kitchen and wondering what he was planning. Chen Pingyan was about to behead the phoenix and muttered that since Xiao Linger said she already had a headache, he would make her chicken soup. The phoenix was scared and made a noise. Phoenix then asked Chopper not to chop him and said that they were sworn brothers. Chopper apologized and told Phoenix that he was just a knife. Phoenix thought that it was all over and that he should not have agreed to Peachtree's idea. Chen Pingyan mumbled that unexpectedly, the chicken didn't even speak up to beg for its life and believed that it could just be an ordinary chicken. He then thought about something that is not ordinary, and if he couldn't ask Xiao Linger, he could go ask the black dragon instead. Chen Pingyan called the dog and told him that he had something to ask. True Dragon telepathically told the black dragon that as the younger one, he knew what to do. Phoenix added and told the black dragon not to tell Chen Pingyan anything. The dog cowered in fear, and Chen Pingyan thought that it was being threatened. He then asked the bird, which ignored him. Chen Pingyan then thought that if he asked Bronze Sword, it would probably not tell him and wondered who would be able to spill it to him. He reasoned that the items in the yard were directly provided by the system and devised a plan to ask directly from the source. Chen Pingyan asked if the system was online. A system message popped up, informing Chen Pingyan to watch his actions. Upset, Chen Pingyan told the system that it gave him so many treasures, but it didn't tell him anything, and if he had known that there were so many treasures, he would not have been so stricken with fear. The system was enraged and told Chen Pingyan that it arranged so many items, and all of them were treasure, and that the black dragon was also its doing. It then added and told Chen Pingyan to consider if he was able to rely on the items forever, and that if the system had told him at the beginning. The system wondered if he would be able to accomplish the missions. Chen Pingyan agreed and told the system that he was just a bit reciprocal. He then thought that the missions would be easy from now on since he had treasures. The system informed Chen Pingyan that if he wished to use the items, there would be great danger, and if there were to be a greedy person in the mind realm, he would be doomed. Chen Pingyan mumbled that there couldn't be so many people in the mind realm in the immortal world. The system informed Chen Pingyan that the conditions for people from the god realm to descend to the mortal realm were not strict. He then believed what the system said and mumbled that Xia Sui did descend to the mortal realm to see Xiao Linger. The system then stated that the top-grade immortal weapons, including the Black Dragon, were currently unable to exert their powers, and that they could only protect him at critical times, and warned Chen Pingyan to be wary of himself. Chen Pingyan responded that it didn't matter because he could only use them in a place with few people. He then thought that since Xiao Linger was the princess of the immortal realm, the items in his house were all immortal weapons, and then wondered about Zhang Yuxin. Zhang Yuxin was upset and mumbled when Chen Pingyan became smart. She then added that she would have to quickly find something for them to do to stop Chen Pingyan from thinking. Meanwhile, on the street of the immortal realm, a young girl mumbled that the immortal world had so many peculiar things, and that it seemed like a good place to visit. The man beside her agreed and told her that it was a good place for a vacation. He then told the girl to go and play, as she didn't have to worry about him. The girl thanked her master. The man then thought that although the ancestors said that Xiaoyan's profound fortune could help him find an opportunity to break through, and that the immortal realm they were in was quite remote, he wondered if there was a talented person hiding there. The man doubted if Xiao Yan could have found the wrong place, and there were still 2 more days until they left. He then noticed a light and believed it was the coercion of the immortal weapons. The man realized that the aura was much greater than the ancestors. He then saw Chen Pingyan holding a teapot. The man wondered if the terrifying aura was caused by the teapot, and how such a treasure could end up in the hands of someone at the Fenshin stage. Chen Pingyan then looked at the man, and the man was shocked, thinking that how could someone from the Fenshin stage detect him so quickly. Meanwhile, Chen Pingyan felt that someone was watching him. He then put it aside and believed that he was just being paranoid. Chen Pingyan served Meng Fanyun tea and told him that although it wasn't great, the flavor was unique. Meng Fanyun then thought that the teapot in Chen Pingyan's hands could actually trigger the odd vision of heaven and earth. He then believed that it must be a treasure from the god realm. Meng Fanyun took a sip of the tea and felt that his spiritual root had become much stronger, believing that his journey on the immortal path would definitely be a smooth sail. Chen Pingyan felt relieved and muttered that it looked like the tea helped Meng Fanyun quite a lot. Meng Fanyun told Chen Pingyan that he had no way to repay him for his great kindness and asked Chen Pingyan to accept his respects. Chen Pingyan told him that it was just a small opportunity and asked him to pay no heed. Meng Fanyun then informed Chen Pingyan that his master had heard that Chen Pingyan needed an immortal spiritual being. A man then called Chen Pingyan and shouted that his name was Lai Moxian and his disciple Xiao Yang came to greet him. Chen Pingyan opened the door and wondered who the two were. He then thought that Meng Fanyun didn't know the 2 strangers, however, he seemed a little scared. Meng Fanyun believed that Lai Moxian's aura was far stronger than the immortal emperor's and believed that he must be someone from the god realm. Chen Pingyan then inquired as to why the 2 of them had come. He then realized that Lai Moxian and Xiao Yang weren't small fries as Meng Fanyun was frightened even though he was a disciple of an immortal emperor. Lai Moxian greeted Chen Pingyan once again. Doubtful, Xiao Yang wondered if Chen Pingyan was the one that her master wanted her to meet. She then thought that, no matter how she looked at him, he was just at the Fenshan stage. Xiao Yang's eyes grew wide as she noticed that the energy of the teapot was somehow stronger than the ancestor's weapon. She thought that those kinds of weapons have their own pride and that they would never let a mere person wield them. She believed that Chen Pingyan must be a peerless powerhouse. Lai Moxian then told Chen Pingyan that he unintentionally felt the energy of his teapot from the other side and thought it was impolite that he came to apologize. Chen Pingyan was confused and wondered if the teapot's energy could actually reach that far. He thought that he was not careful enough and that he couldn't flaunt it in the future. He added that people would think that he was a senior because he had a first-class immortal weapon and would think he was an immortal emperor. He believed that he was somehow lucky as he hadn't attracted someone from the god realm. Chen Pingyan thought that it was better to hide the pot so there would be no trouble. He then told Lai Moxian that there was no need to apologize and inquired as to where they had come from. Lai Moxian answered and told Chen Pingyan that they had come from the heaven and earth realm. He then thought that Chen Pingyan must be someone from the god realm, and it would be better to be specific. Chen Pingyan, befuddled, wondered where the heaven and earth realms were because he had no idea. He then asked Lai Moxian if he meant the small place. The 2 were stunned after Chen Pingyan claimed that the god realm was a small place. Chen Pingyan coughed and thought that he had said too much and was thinking about changing the topic. He then notified them that their strength was not bad, especially Lai Moxian, and that his future journey was still good. Lai Moxian thanked Chen Pingyan for his recognition and told him that he would work hard. He then asked Chen Pingyan if he could give him some pointers, as he had encountered some problems regarding his cultivation. Chen Pingyan was taken aback and thought that he couldn't help Lai Moxian as he had never cultivated before. He then thought about pretending like before and said 2 lines, since experts usually give riddles and if they couldn't understand, it was because they weren't good enough to comprehend. Lai Moxian explained that his problem impedes progress like a closed ring, and once a problem is solved, another would appear, and finally, everything would return to the beginning. He went on to ask Chen Pingyan what his solution to his problem was. Chen Pingyan held the teapot and told Lai Moxian that his problem was simple, and asked, "How do you untie a rope without a knot?" Lai Moxian disagreed, stating that if it doesn't have a knot, it couldn't be untied until he realized to cut it with a sharp knife. Lai Moxian thanked Chen Pingyan for helping him with his confusion and asked him to accept his respect. Chen Pingyan mused that it was just a trivial matter and asked him not to worry about it. He then came back inside and noticed a red aura. Chen Pingyan was anxious and wondered what the red aura was. Lai Moxian realized that it was the absolute deity prisoner oppressing Array. A strange figure laughed and told Lai Moxian that in the past, he hid in the external sect and that he couldn't do anything, but that day his death would be inevitable. Lai Moxian wondered and asked the Blood Buddha why he wanted to attack him as he had no grievances with him. Blood Buddha appeared and answered that he was a member of the demon realm and that there was no reason for him not to kill him. He then thought that as long as he killed Lai Moxian and took his key circulation, his demonic arts would improve. Lai Moxian had no idea when he had provoked him and that, in terms of cultivation, he couldn't beat him. He was afraid that he wouldn't be able to escape from the Blood Buddha. He then thought that he was not afraid of taking everything down with him. But Xiao Yang was still young. Lai Moxian told Chen Pingyan that he had already asked for his help and shouldn't have asked for another one. However, Xiao Yang was still young, and all he could ask Chen Pingyan was to protect her if he died due to misfortune. Xiao Yang was worried about her master. Lai Moxian went on to say that he would repay Chen Pingyan's kindness in the next life. Chen Pingyan thought that Lai Moxian was a great master, but unfortunately, he was not strong, and he didn't know if the system's teleportation would work. A voice then told Chen Pingyan not to worry and that the Blood Buddha was just a small fry. Chen Pingyan was puzzled. Chopper then introduced himself and told Chen Pingyan to leave the Blood Buddha to him, and everything would be fine. Chen Pingyan smiled and told Chopper to wait until he gave him the go-ahead, to which Chopper agreed. He then grabbed Lai Moxian and asked him why he was so nervous and that he should be the one to care for his own disciple. Lai Moxian was alert, and Chen Pingyan went on to say that even if there were thousands of Blood Buddha, it still wouldn't be a problem. Lai Moxian thanked Chen Pingyan. The Blood Buddha was about to attack and mumbled about the persistence of the group, thinking of just playing around. He then threw a huge fireball and told them to die. Chen Pingyan then called Chopper and told him to show him who was the boss, to which Chopper obliged. Chopper cut the fireball with one finger and proceeded to cut the Blood Buddha's head at the same time. He then told Chen Pingyan that he hated being sheathed and that the second knife could only obey orders. Chen Pingyan praised Chopper and told him he did a good job and asked him to return. He then thought that Chopper was outstanding and that it looked like he had found a kindred spirit. Chen Pingyan assured Lai Moxian and Xiao Yang not to be alarmed, as it was just a simple matter. Lai Moxian was then amazed. Meanwhile, in the God Realm, a man shouted and wondered what was happening and asked who the God Emperor had lost to. A man then reported to the ancestor and told him that the God Emperor had recently come out of seclusion. The man then thought that it was not easy for the God Emperor to launch an attack. He then realized that the destiny tally had shattered and wondered if his disciple Cheng Wu had died. The man flicked his finger and mumbled that his disciple had died due to Sword Dao. The man then thought that the sword attack was so powerful that if he were to take revenge with just one blow, he would be a goner. He then mumbled that he could always take in more disciples and send them to their deaths. At the God Realm Eternal City Sect Station, Lai Moxian told his ancestor that he had something to report. The ancestor realized that it was Lai Moxian and told him to come in. Lai Moxian greeted his master. The ancestor realized Lai Moxian had overcome his obstacle and wondered what had caused him to return to his master rather than cultivate and strengthen himself. Lai Moxian cheerfully informed Wang Chenglin that something important had happened. When he was in the immortal world, he encountered a great opportunity. Wang Chenglin responded that it was just an immortal world and wondered if there could be a God Emperor hiding there. Lai Moxian asked Wang Chenglin if he could still remember the sword energy that shocked the God Realm before. Wang Chenglin nodded and told Lai Moxian that everyone from the God Realm was discussing who could have unleashed such sword strength. He then wondered if there could be a God Emperor in the immortal realm who was a powerhouse in hiding. Lai Moxian told Wang Chenglin that it was not a God Emperor grade and that it was far stronger, someone from the realm above the God Realm in disguise. Wang Chenglin was perplexed by what he had heard and asked Lai Moxian how someone from the upper realm could be so easily identified. Lai Moxian responded that he knew Wang Chenglin wouldn't believe him, so before coming to him, he went to see the immortal emperor and arranged for Xiao Yan to participate in a secret realm where Chen Pingyan would also go. He then said that when the time comes, as long as he sees Chen Pingyan, there would be no doubts. Wang Chenglin agreed to accompany Lai Moxian to see for himself. Meanwhile, at Chen Pingyan's household, Chen Pingyan mumbled that before Chopper killed the monk, the system suddenly dropped him a chest and wondered what he would get. He then got a large bag of fertilizer, a mask of disguise, and a Vajra scepter. Chen Pingyan cheerfully said that his luck was good and that the bag of fertilizer was now enough. He then assumed that the mask should be the system preparing him for the upcoming mission. After all, it doesn't always happen that a dead person has the same look as him. As for the Vajra scepter, Chen Pingyan thought that the weapon must have spiritual intelligence and wondered if the monk would seek revenge. He then decided to exchange it for safety. The Vajra scepter spoke and told Chen Pingyan that it surrendered. Chen Pingyan's eyes shone as he could now buy 2 immortal spiritual Bayan. He then mumbled that it was almost time for the secret realm to open and that he would be cultivating in these few days. He must complete the last mission before he gets married. Meanwhile, at the immortal secret realm, Chen Pingyan arrived and thought that the secret realm was important, as well as being surprised by how many people had come. Zhao Buzhu noticed Chen Pingyan and thought that he had finally appeared. A mysterious voice asked Zhao Buzhu why he suddenly cared about Chen Pingyan and reminded him that he would become the young master of the Pavilion of the Gods, and that Chen Pingyan was no longer worthy of comparison. Zhao Buzhu smiled and told the voice that he was right, as Chen Pingyan was not worthy to be compared to him. The voice inquired as to why they had come and that he had already informed the gods of the pavilion that as soon as the expedition ended, someone would come, and even an immortal emperor could be easily killed with his command. Upset, Zhao Buzhu told the voice that he didn't understand why he had to be fairly beaten once so that he could get rid of his grudge. He said that after he defeated Chen Pingyan, all that had embarrassed him would die. The crowd realized that the great immortal emperor had arrived with the other immortal emperors. Huang Zhenqian announced that the secret realm would be used for a competition, and that flying within the secret realm was prohibited. He then went on to say that the competition would be divided into 3 stages: the gravitational hill, beast capturing, and berserking brambles. He added that those who were seriously injured would be automatically sent out of the secret realm. Huang Zhenqian told the crowd that the entrance to the secret realm would now officially open. The contestants flew towards the secret realm and were instructed to enter in order. Meanwhile, inside the secret realm, the contestants fell and screamed. Chen Pingyan released a technique that made him land safely. He then remembered Zhao Bankia saying that the first stage of the secret realm would be a gravitational hill, where the higher you go, the stronger the gravity becomes. Although he could use the power of heaven and earth to strengthen his legs to rush up the hill, he then thought that it would be ugly if he were to crash into the ground. Chen Pingyan decided to go slowly and get used to it. Xiao Yang called Chen Pingyan and inquired as to why he wasn't running. He then told her that the view looked nice, so he wanted to enjoy it. Xiao Yang decided to accompany Chen Pingyan to watch the view and said that it didn't matter if she won or lost. Chen Pingyan was more important. Outside the secret realm, the crowd wondered who the bottom runners were as they were embarrassed looking at them. One of the people said that Chen Pingyan looked like Zhao Ziyan from the Zhao family, but he was not sure about the girl. Another person said that Zhao Buzhu, who ran first, was also from the Zhao family. Immortal Emperor Bai Yuan mumbled that Zhao Buzhu was someone with talent worthy of gaining his attention, and that his other 2 disciples couldn't even catch up to him. He said that Zhao Buzhu even agreed to become his disciple after the secret realm, and he still wanted to thank Chen Yichen and Huang Zhenqian for not recognizing such a gem. Huang Zhenqian and Chen Yichen looked at each other and thought that Bai Yuan thought he got a bargain. Huang Zhenqian sighed and thought that he didn't wonder why the Zhao family dared to send Zhao Buzhu to show up, as it was because of Bai Yuan. Chen Yichen also thought that Bai Yuan was annoying and that he should find a reason to hit him. Yu Donglai's eyes widened as he saw Xiao Yang and believed that there must be someone great from the God realm present. He claimed that Chen Pingyan's background was unfathomable and that he even made someone from the God realm respect him. Wang Chenglin then asked Lai Moxian if Chen Pingyan was the senior he was speaking of and said that he looked nothing out of the ordinary. Lai Moxian retorted not to make any rash calculations. Wang Chenglin believed that Lai Moxian had been played and that sword energy couldn't be from Chen Pingyan. His eyes then widened. Chen Pingyan ran and outran many contestants, including Zhao Buzhu. Zhao Buzhu was annoyed. Xiao Yang then passed Zhao Buzhu, which made him shocked. Zhao Buzhu tried using a gathering aura on his feet and stumbled and fell. In rage, he then screamed Zhao Ziyan's name. Chen Pingyan then thought that even with heaven and earth powers, his speed isn't that bad. And now, to complete his mission, he'll have to go a little faster. Chen Pingyan made an explosion as he ran quickly. Wang Chenglin was surprised and realized that what Chen Pingyan did was Dao, and wondered if there was someone in the world who could manipulate Dao like him. Lai Moxian smiled and told Wang Chenglin that Chen Pingyan was the best. Wang Chenglin agreed with Lai Moxian. However, he asked him how such a powerful man could hide his strength in a small immortal world and wondered what Chen Pingyan was planning. Surprised, Lai Moxian wondered if Wang Chenglin meant to stay away from Chen Pingyan. Wang Chenglin mumbled that it was already happening and believed that it was too late to leave. He then grabbed Lai Moxian and told him that they would think about it, and that the rich could be used as pawns by people who are strong, and believed that it could be a great opportunity. Wang Chenglin then muttered that Chen Pingyan takes 1 step but always takes 10 steps ahead, and probably knew that they would be there. He doesn't know what role he was in Chen Pingyan's game. He then realized something, to which Lai Moxian asked what it was. Wang Chenglin believed that he was sensing the aura of his old friend. Lai Moxian wondered if it was another god and what they would do to help capture the enemy. Wang Chenglin told Lai Moxian that it was their chance, and if they could handle the situation properly, they might get treated better by Chen Pingyan. He then went on to say to wait and see what would happen, to which Lai Moxian agreed. Chen Pingyan looked back and noticed Xiao Yang approaching. He muttered that it looked like he was very fast and then mumbled that he was in the second stage of the berserk beasts, hoping that the beasts weren't scary. A beast attacked Chen Pingyan, but he activated the Buddha's palm, which sent the beast flying. The system notified Chen Pingyan that he had killed the demon-devouring lion and obtained some drops. Surprised, Chen Pingyan claimed that just by adding a bit of heaven and earth power, it could make the Buddha's palm stronger. He then realized he could take the chance to clear a wave of beasts. The contestants wondered what was happening and if someone was fighting the beasts. One of the contestants mumbled that it didn't sound like anyone was fighting the beasts, but rather that someone was destroying the secret realm. Xiao Yang was amazed and thought that Chen Pingyan was clearly only using the spiritual energy of the Fenshin stage but could produce an immortal grade attack. Zhao Buzhu was irritated and wondered how Chen Pingyan had grown so powerful. The voice scolded Zhao Buzhu and told him that Chen Pingyan had a secret treasure in his body. The voice assured him that he didn't need to be angry, that the people of the Gods Pavilion would arrive soon, and that he could do whatever he wanted with Chen Pingyan. Zhao Buzhu then thought that the voice was right and that he wouldn't give Chen Pingyan another chance to turn things around. A portal then appeared from the sky, and the people noticed it and mumbled that the first place was coming. Chen Pingyan came out of the portal, which made the crowd in awe. They thought that he was awesome and to think that he dealt with the 2 stages alone. Another person wondered why Chen Pingyan's cultivation was low. Chen Pingyan remembered that Huang Zhenqian had told him that the immortal emperor admired him very much. He believed that he had to state his identity quickly to prevent any incidents from happening if Yu Donglai were to call him senior and blow his cover. He then greeted Yu Donglai, introducing himself as his disciple. Yu Donglai realized that Chen Pingyan was hiding his identity. He praised Chen Pingyan and told him that what he did was not bad and asked if he was from the Zhao family. Zhao Bankia then announced that Zhao Ziyan was the family's heir, which surprised the people. Yu Donglai then told Chen Pingyan that he was satisfied with his strength and that they could have a long talk if he was free later on. He then decided to follow Chen Pingyan's plan. Chen Pingyan believed that he had been recognized by most of the Zhao family members and that now that he had been called the heir by Zhao Bankia, his mission was finally completed. The system then informed Chen Pingyan that his mission was complete and asked him to head to a remote area to claim his rewards. Chen Pingyan then thanked Yu Donglai. One person in the crowd wondered what was in the sky. A huge black portal appeared, causing the crowd to scream that someone from the God realm had descended. Another man was perplexed as to why someone from the God realm was present. Zhao Buzhu laughed hysterically and grumbled that he had been waiting for him. He introduced himself as Dao Zhatian's young master whom he had been seeking. The man then thought that the abstruse script had already chosen a master. Dao Zhatian introduced himself to Zhao Buzhu and requested to return to the God realm as soon as possible. Zhao Buzhu then informed him that returning to the God realm wasn't urgent and that he still had an enemy here. If it was not resolved, he would not go. Dao Zhatian then asked Zhao Buzhu to point out who had such audacity to be his enemy. He also stated that as long as it displeased him, even the immortal emperor could be killed. Zhao Buzhu then pointed at Chen Pingyan and muttered that he wanted him dead. The 3 immortal emperors then believed that Zhao Buzhu had a death wish. Yu Donglai wondered what Chen Pingyan thought after hearing what Zhao Buzhu had said, claiming that he probably thought it was ridiculous. Nervously, Chen Pingyan wondered how he had encountered someone from the God realm and that his top-grade immortal weapons couldn't save him. He also realized that even if he ran, he wouldn't be able to escape. Moreover, if he used the system teleportation, the man would just follow him there. Wang Chenglin assumed that Chen Pingyan was staring at him and believing that it was all his plan. He then told Lai Moxian that it was now their time to shine, to which Lai Moxian understood. Daya Zhatian then told Zhao Buzhu that he was happy to serve his wishes. He threw a ball of aura towards Chen Pingyan. A system message popped up, making Chen Pingyan surprised by what it stated about Elder Dao's great power and prestige. Wang Chenglin and Lai Moxian shielded Chen Pingyan and wondered aloud, telling Daya Zhatian that how could the Pavilion of the Gods act righteous while taking a person's life. Daya Zhatian then asked Wang Chenglin what he was doing there. Lai Moxian whispered to Chen Pingyan that Wang Chenglin would handle the situation properly. Still anxious, Chen Pingyan thought he was lucky that he didn't expect the person he fooled to come and save him. Wang Chenglin claimed that Chen Pingyan didn't want his identity exposed in front of so many people, as he had arranged their meeting there. He then responded to Daya Zhatian's question, saying that it was none of his business. Wang Chenglin added that the arrogance of the Pavilion Gods was despicable. Daya Zhatian then thought that he had originally planned to kill only the lower realm person to please Zhao Buzhu, but with Wang Chenglin's involvement, it wouldn't end well. He then informed Zhao Buzhu that Wang Chenglin was one of the strongest in the God's realm and suggested that it would be better to let it go and return to the God realm. He then went on to say that Wang Chenglin couldn't stay with Chen Pingyan forever and that he would just come back and kill him next time. Upset, Zhao Buzhu agreed and mumbled that he would let Chen Pingyan live for a few more days. Daya Zhatian then muttered that he was the one who acted inappropriately by killing innocent people and that he would be the one to bring Zhao Buzhu back to the God realm. Wang Chenglin halted Daya Zhatian and told him that he had tried to harm Chen Pingyan, but there wasn't any compensation. Daya Zhatian believed that Wang Chenglin was just trying to rob him and wondered why he suddenly meddled in others' business. He then asked Wang Chenglin what he needed. Wang Chenglin answered that he needed 15,000 spiritual essence and the pseudo-god artifacts that he obtained from the secret realm. Dia Zhatian rejected and told Wang Chenglin that his eternal sect was too deceitful, and that he was ruthless in taking advantage of the situation. Wang Chenglin then asked him if he wanted to fight. Dia Zhatian had no choice but to tell Wang Chenglin that the items he had requested were in his storage ring. He then threw the storage ring towards Wang Chenglin and told him that he hoped he would let him go. Wang Chenglin wondered why the artifact didn't have any soul. He opened the storage ring and held a knife. Dia Zhatian told Wang Chenglin that that was all he had, and that it was probably because it had been in the secret realm for too long that it dissipated. Wang Chenglin then told them to leave. He then gave Chen Pingyan the items and told him that it was the compensation he deserved. Wang Chenglin looked around before he whispered that he would like to talk to Chen Pingyan in private and wondered if he was free. Chen Pingyan agreed. Meanwhile, Zhao Buzhu was enraged that Chen Pingyan got another huge benefit. Dia Zhatian calmed Zhao Buzhu down and told him it was useless even if Chen Pingyan had it. Zhao Buzhu wondered what Dia Zhatian meant. Dia Zhatian informed Zhao Buzhu that the pseudo-god artifacts were somewhat a treasure item, so the master of the pavilion had put restrictions on god artifacts. And in fact, there had always been a soul. As long as they saw the pavilion master, they would be able to retrieve the treasure. A man asked Dio Zhatian if Wang Chenglin had actually meddled in such affairs. Dio Zhatian responded that he wouldn't dare to spout nonsense. Mo Huang, the master of the god's pavilion, thought there must be something special about Chen Pingyan, so Wang Chenglin decided to go to the immortal realm. He informed them that he was now casting a link to the weapon's soul and that the pseudo-god artifact should be retrieved as soon as possible. Mo Huang thought that it didn't matter if Wang Chenglin was there, he would just go along. A man anxiously asked Mo Huang to save him and told him that he was being surrounded by a group that was 1,000 times stronger than a god's artifact. Mo Huang and Dia Zhatian were puzzled. Mo Huang asked what the man was saying. Chopper grabbed the man and told him that a trash like him dared to fool Chen Pingyan. The man replied and told Chopper that he was wrong and asked him to spare him, saying he would do anything. Chopper smirked and told the man goodbye. He thought that the hidden bug had been dealt with and that now the dagger was left for Chen Pingyan to play with. Mo Huang stared at Chopper nervously. Chopper mumbled that he almost forgot that there was another bug snooping around. Mo Huang felt depressed and muttered that they had messed with the wrong person. With the cultivation Chopper showed when he crushed the soul, he was able to destroy the pavilion of the gods with just his fingers. Dio Zhatian and Zhao Buzhu looked at each other, confused. Mo Huang ordered Dio Zhatian that they must quickly prepare to find a new location for the pavilion of the gods, to which Dio Zhatian understood. Zhao Buzhu thought that it was impossible for Zhao Ziyan to have that kind of ability, and believed that he could not be Zhao Ziyan. He added that since he had already angered Chen Pingyan, he was afraid that Chen Pingyan would take revenge on him. It looked like the pavilion of the gods wouldn't exist for long. Meanwhile, in the immortal realm, Wang Chenglin and Chen Pingyan arrived. Wang Chenglin bowed and greeted Chen Pingyan, apologizing for not being able to greet him due to the situation, and asked for forgiveness. Yu Donglai told Chen Pingyan that he would like to thank him for his kindness and guidance for his disciple Sun Guo. If it weren't for his help, it would have been impossible for him to ascend to the position of the immortal emperor. Chen Pingyan was confused and thought about what he had done. He believed that Yu Donglai probably thought that he had helped him and that Wang Chenglin must have been fooled by Lai Moxian. Chen Pingyan told them not to mind it as it was just a small thing. He thought that he never expected Lai Moxian to actually be someone from the god realm. Wang Chenglin also thanked Yu Donglai for providing him a place where he could apologize to Chen Pingyan. Yu Donglai responded to Wang Chenglin, telling him not to mind it as he didn't mind. They both simultaneously thought that they must establish a good relationship with each other as Chen Pingyan took a liking to them. Chen Pingyan thought that it seemed like Wang Chenglin wasn't a big shot in the god realm, as he called someone from the immortal realm a brother. He added that Lai Moxia was shocked when he saw him holding the top-grade immortal weapon. Chen Pingyan informed Wang Chenglin and Yu Donglai that he was getting married in 3 days, and if they didn't mind, they could bring their families and friends over for a wedding celebration. He thought that if he could invite the immortal emperor and someone from the god realm to his wedding, it would be an honor. Wang Chenglin and Yu Donglai blushed and both thanked Chen Pingyan. Chen Pingyan smiled and told them that he would wait for their arrival. Meanwhile, in the mortal world, at Chen Pingyan's house, the system notified Chen Pingyan that there were no special rewards for that time, as he had already been rewarded with 2 great realms. Another message popped up, stating that the next task had already started and that it would have a special reward that the host would absolutely like. Chen Pingyan was happy and mumbled that his cultivation had improved by 2 realms, and now his divine senses had also improved. He went on to say that he could now control the 10 silk threads. However, he didn't know if the attack would be as strong as the immortal emperor's. He got an idea that when he returned, he would find a reason to compare himself with Huang Zhengan. Chen Pingyan asked the system if the next task would be in the immortal realm. The system responded and told Chen Pingyan not to ask, as the task would be random if he did. Chen Pingyan prayed and mumbled that he hoped it would be in the immortal realm, and if the immortal emperor could help, it would be much easier. He slapped his face and mumbled that the most important thing at that time was the wedding. After some time, Chen Pingyan asked Zhang Yuxin to help him check if there was anything wrong with him. Zhang Yuxin leaned on Chen Pingyan and told him that he was fine, and that he didn't have to be so nervous. She assured him that their wedding was kept simple to ensure that nothing could go wrong. Chen Pingin's doubts were interrupted when Zhang Yuxin asked him to greet their guests. Blushing, Chen Pingin thought that something was strange with Zhang Yuxin, as she didn't seem nervous. Chen Pingin was approached by a man who congratulated him on his wedding and mentioned that the money he gave wasn't much. The man asked Chen Pingin if he minded him bringing his 2 friends along to have some fun. Chen Pingin greeted the old man's friends, telling them that they were now his friends and that they should come to the wedding. He then invited them inside. The old man thanked Chen Pingin. Ying Chenyan inquired of the old man, noting that he had already prepared a gift for Chen Pingin and wondered why he had not given it to him. Blushing, the old man admitted that he had no idea what his brain was thinking at the time. He thought Chen Pingin was interested in him, so he planned to give him a set of pornography to test his orientation. He also mentioned that if Zhang Yuxin found out about it, she would be furious, and he still wanted to live, so he asked the 2 of them to keep it a secret, to which his friends laughed. After some time, Chen Pingin recognized Chopper in the group. Chopper wondered if he was Chen Pingin and told him that they were Zhang Yuxin's relatives. Chen Pingin agreed and told them that Zhang Yuxin was inside and asked them to enter. Wang Chenglin called Chen Pingin, which shocked Chen Pingin. Chen Pingin wondered how his guests knew each other. Grandpa Mirong held Chen Pingin's hands and congratulated him on his wedding. Chen Pingin responded that he had been eagerly awaiting their arrival, which surprised the 3 men, making them think that Chen Pingin even expected them to come together. Chen Pingin asked them to follow him as he arranged a special seating just for them. He thought Wang Chenglin was a big shot in the god realm, so it would be better for him to be with him for reassurance. Wang Chenglin thought that Chen Pingin's wedding had many powerful individuals and that he might be able to meet others from the upper realm. Wang Chenglin's eyes grew wide as he saw Chopper and the company's aura. Chen Pingin asked Wang Chenglin what was wrong and if his body was not feeling well. Wang Chenglin grew anxious and told Chen Pingin not to mind him, to which Chen Pingin agreed. He remembered Chen Pingin telling him that his future was bright, but he was unsure if he could reach everyone at the wedding's level. The doctor whispered to the man beside him to hold back his aura so as not to scare the young ones. The man smiled and mumbled that it was indeed his fault and that as an apology, he would give the young ones an opportunity. The doctor was shocked and mumbled that it was the man's 10,000 years of cultivation. The man informed them that the mortals who were eating in the feast would be immortal by tomorrow. He mumbled that and wondered if it still counted since he expressed his generosity in the feast, as he wasn't able to give it back to Chen Pingin in the past. The man asked them to stop the chatter and just drink instead. When the party ended, Chen Pingin warned the guests to be cautious on their way back. Zhang Yuxin inquired about Chen Pingin's feelings about their wedding. Chen Pingin replied that his face was all sore from smiling. Zhang Yuxin grabbed Chen Pingin's arm and told him that his face was not the problem as long as he's not sore for the night. Chen Pingin blushed. Meanwhile, a bright light informed Chopper and the group that his master was afraid that he would disrupt Chen Pingin's wedding and did not even let him out. The light transformed into the girls and told Chopper that now the wedding was over, they could have a duel. Chopper told the girl that it was Chen Pingin's happy day, so it was not suitable for them to duel and told her that he would just duel her next time. Annoyed, the girl declined, telling Chopper that he always tries to shirk and that this time she wouldn't back down so easily. Chopper told the girl that Chen Pingin was in an unusual situation at the time and looked at the phoenix, making the phoenix nervous. The phoenix took Peachtree's hand and asked her if she had agreed to go see the stars with him before. They decided not to disturb Chen Pingin's special night and inquired if they could go see the stars now. He whispered to Peachtree that he didn't want to deal with Chopper's trouble and asked her to help him for once. He mentioned that she could drink the fine wine he had kept in private. Peachtree smiled and agreed, making a run for it. She told Chopper that they were going to see the stars. Chopper looked towards the broom and the teapot. The broom acted dizzy and leaned towards the teapot, informing her that he was not good with alcohol. The teapot told the broom to hold on and assured him that she would bring him to the doctor right away. Anxiously, Chopper asked both of them to wait. The girl grabbed Chopper and told him that it seemed the others thought he should have a duel with her. He told the girl that he would stop hiding things from her from now on and informed her that he didn't want to have a duel because he had a lover and didn't want that person to see him crazy and bloodthirsty when he fought. The girl was shocked and told Chopper that there were no other female weapons around him like Peachtree and Teapot, who were so close to each other. Chopper told her that he had discovered a new attraction and asked her if she thought the bronze sword was handsome. And although the bronze sword was weak, its attitude of disregarding life and death was charming. The girl took a step back, blushing. She screamed that Chopper is okay. Chopper was puzzled as the girl ran and screamed that she would never accept it. Chopper was perplexed, not understanding what the girl was saying. He put things aside and mumbled that at least the girl wouldn't bother him for now, and that he couldn't go home, so he would go drinking. Meanwhile, in Chen Pingin's house, Zhang Yuxin mumbled that a spring night is awfully short. She asked Chen Pingin if he was planning on sitting in the chair all night, to which Chen Pingin disagreed. Zhang Yuxin stood up and asked Chen Pingin another question, if he liked being passive. She went on to say that she understood and was willing to take the initiative. She kissed Chen Pingin and grabbed him, telling him that she still preferred being in bed because it was more convenient. After some time, Xiao Linger inquired of Chen Pingyan and Zhang Yuxin when she could hold her younger brother or sister. Zhang Yuxin responded and told Xiao Linger that it would depend on Chen Pingyan's ability, which made Chen Pingyan spurt his tea. Chen Pingyan told Xiao Linger that kids should stop asking about the topic and scolded Zhang Yuxin for talking about it to Xiao Linger. Zhang Yuxin apologized and asked Chen Pingyan how she could make it up to him. Disappointed, Xiao Linger mumbled that her kanji tastes like dog food. Meanwhile, the bronze sword sulked beside the dog, telling him that he had been restless since last night, and that disaster seemed imminent. The dog wondered what could happen and said that beating a dog depends on the owner, also wondering who allowed Chopper to bully the bronze sword. After the wedding, Chen Pingyan stayed home for half a month. A system message popped up and informed Chen Pingyan that he couldn't just laze around and that it was time to start a new mission. Chen Pingyan teleported, but after a minute passed, the girl arrived at his house. The girl thought that Chen Pingyan and Zhang Yuxin were not present at the house and that it was the right time for Chopper to follow Chen Pingyan. She called out for Bronze Sword and asked him to come out. Bronze Sword was alarmed and asked the girl what her command was. Furious, the girl realized that Bronze Sword was the one Chopper meant and wondered how he was able to have a relationship with Chopper. Bronze Sword responded nervously that she was correct and that Chopper was strong and cool, and that being his little brother was unworthy. He believed that it seemed like the girl was a fangirl of Chopper and that as long as he praised Chopper, there should be no problem. The girl became even more furious as Bronze Sword continued praising Chopper. Peachtree mumbled that Bronze Sword shouldn't boast about Chopper and that the girl would, at most, threaten him, thinking that it would be good if it ended there. Phoenix retorted, saying they couldn't blame Bronze Sword and that if they hadn't witnessed what happened the day before, they wouldn't believe Chopper did such a thing to avoid a fight. Peachtree was concerned and wondered if they should assist Bronze Sword. Phoenix asked if Peachtree wanted to annoy the girl, and Peachtree declined. He assured Peachtree that even though the girl was aggressive, she shouldn't forget that she couldn't act without her master. She was unlikely to kill or injure someone. They both prayed that Chen Pingyan would protect Bronze Sword. Meanwhile, at the God Realm Martial Reservoir sect, Chen Pingyan arrived and thought that the place had a high amount of threads of the power of heaven and earth and wondered if he was in the immortal realm. The system notified Chen Pingyan that he had to act as Hao Wuchai, the master of the Martial Reservoir sect who had unfortunately died recently. Chen Pingyan wondered if he was the guy he had to pretend to be and believed that he was poison. Another message from the system popped up, stating that Chen Pingyan's mission was to help the Martial Reservoir sect become a 4th rank sect. A man arrived and called out Hao Wuchai. Chen Pingyan surprised the man by turning to look at him. The man unsheathed his sword and asked Chen Pingyan what he was doing with their sect master. Nervous, Chen Pingyan asked the man if he would believe him if he said that he had just arrived. The man was furious and told Chen Pingyan that he dared to humiliate his intelligence and was about to attack him. Chen Pingyan unknowingly unleashed his Tathagata God Palm, which surprised the man. The man was pushed through the wall, making Chen Pingyan wonder if his Tathagata God Palm would be that strong just by adding 10 threads. Outside, a group of people were concerned, wondering why there was an attack from the sect master's room and what was going on. Chen Pingyan then thought that it looked like he had to return to the mortal world to better understand his mission. Meanwhile, at Chen Pingyan's house, the wooden sword informed the bronze sword that it appears teaching him a lesson is insufficient. The bronze sword was terrified, asking the wooden sword for mercy. The wooden sword quickly disappeared and told the bronze sword to wait. Chen Pingyan arrived and was greeted by the bronze sword, who was relieved and told that he was back. Chen Pingyan asked the bronze sword what was going on. The bronze sword told Chen Pingyan that he was fine and asked him to summon